Hit that button.
Hit that button.
And we are live.
Not the song I was looking for, then. Turn that shit off. Hey, who said that?
I don't know, Ghost. Somebody from another dimension.
That was Jay screaming. Cut that shit out, Jay. Man, gotta watch these guys. They're insane. Audience, we need some live applause, please. Thank you. Who sounds like this after they see a beautiful woman? Yeah, that's a day. Coming from them damn aliens. Woo-hoo, baby. I didn't even hear the gunshot.
It's not a very good one. It sounds more like a punch.
Jesse Jackson Dane, is that your name? Jesse Jackson Dane? This song actually belongs to U.S. Undercover. It was originally written as a closing song for U.S. Undercover. Actually, wasn't the song I was. Yeah, this one was. Yeah. There was another song a friend of Jay's had for us, but it disappeared off our list. Now we were using it for news on the flip side. You remember that little song, Jay?
What song?
That song your friend sent us. We were using for the opener for a while. It disappeared off our list though. I didn't see it. Yeah, it's not on the list anymore.
I'll have to look at mine.
I was actually gonna play it tonight.
Let me look at my files. See if I still have it. I think I should.
I like when they give us the applause, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready down. Welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all are all having. Oh wait, what is that? I hope y'all are all having a wonderful Friday night while somebody listens to the music to turn it off.
What happened?
You have it on loop, maybe? Joe disappeared. There he is again.
Yeah, I threw myself out there. No, it's on.
Do you have this on loop? Yeah, that's all right. It's on loop.
You just gotta hit it. Yeah, you just gotta touch it again. I'm just not in that area. Yeah. No, Jesse. Yeah. When you touch it, it just stays on. Yeah. Well, some of them have a loop set, and I think that one's just actually built in.
No. The whole thing is that when you turn it on, it always has the on loop. So you have to
those do.
Turn it off of loop.
So on our videos, you can turn the loop on and off, but for someone on there, you can't. There, it's just there.
It's always in the on position when you first start you come into this web page, but yeah.
But anyway, everyone, welcome to News on the Flip Side. It is true Iran said that they're not going to make peace with the United States or Israel as long as we have nukes. They'll never stop trying to build a nuke. So that sounds like an invitation to me to wipe them from the face of the planet. And then to top it off, we may not get the chance because Pakistan Turkey and Saudi Arabia formed a new protection pact in the Middle East today. They signed a treaty today.
Oh,
wow. And what does the treaty stipulate?
It's a protection. You attack one, you attack all of them. So
so it's like NATO. Wow.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Turkey is a member of NATO. So right now, if you attack Saudi Arabia or Pakistan, which means Turkey will have to get into it. If you attack Turkey because Turkey's fighting with them, then you've just attacked a NATO country.
So basically, they're only okay to attack us and India. Basically.
So what's looking like
without being struck by those guys anyway.
Well, it looks like what's going to happen is because Iran is attacking Saudi Arabia. It looks like the three of them might just attack Iran. The Saudi's army's not all that big, Jesse, but Turkey's army and Pakistan army is pretty big.
Is that big enough to start World War III, though?
Yeah, they're big enough to start World War III. Not big enough to survive World War III.
But would that action constitute them starting World War III if they attacked
them taking over Iran?
If they attacked Iran out of the clear blue sky, you don't think a war would?
What are you talking about? How would they be attacking them out the clear blue sky? Iran's already blowing up Saudi Arabia every day.
Jay's
they haven't attacked Pakistan and they haven't attacked the other countries. But
it doesn't matter. They attacked somebody with a pact.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, no, they've already fired at them since the pact was signed. So Iran knew what they were doing. Yeah. That's how it is, guys. Yeah.
Well, that's just sad for them because that means their country's going to just be bombed into the Stone Age. And I don't understand why we're even I don't know why Donald Trump is even talking to them any further. They've broken every pact that they signed with him. They've broken every pact they signed with every leader going back 47 years.
Jay, here's the way I think it. When after the midterms, if Iran's still doing this shit, then yes, he'll unlaunch. He's just saving because of the midterms coming up. I believe that.
He might be. I think he's in a bad spot.
He's that afraid of it. I think the only thing I think is actually true, and it's because he said it, and then all of the countries surrounding Iran has said it. They want the country. They could care less who's in control as long as they're not assholes. They want the country to be pleasant and safe. My opinion is that it won't be with whoever's in control, because each time we knock a level of control off, they get more and more aggressive, and they have less and less weapons. Each time we knock off a layer of control, there's another layer of defensive weaponry we've destroyed, but they don't seem to want to stop. So I would think just, you know what, we should just incinerate the entire area, take it over, and then parcel it out to the countries in the nearby. Like Saudi Arabia can buy part of it, United Arab Emirates can buy part of it, and then the land can be theirs.
But we may not have to. You may see Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi take it. And up amongst them.
I mean, the idea works either whether we take it and sell it to them for profit, or they take it as spoils of war. Either way, I don't care. Incinerate it. Stop the entire regime and government of Iran. Start from scratch. Let a whole new group come in.
Well, one of the things they need to start doing right now is decide where they want to put the people at. And what I mean by that is, okay, so you start bombing like Tehran, you just start bombing it. And you take out the infrastructure, you take out the roads around it, you make it to where it's an isolated city where you can't even drive in and out of it. You maybe walk in and out of it, but you're not going to drive in and out of it. And then you just start leveling the city. Now, all them people are going to be forced somewhere. Well, meanwhile, you're blowing up bridges ahead of them. So you can direct them to where you want them to be going.
Well, you'd have to do it strategically and take out all but one or two bridges that lead into one direction and one direction only. And you set up, outposts with not so friendly people on the other end for the bad guys. And those who aren't bad guys, you let them continue on to the next city. But you make it one-way exit, and you just bomb every other exit, pointing them in that direction towards our troops. And then, like you said, pinpoint strikes. Just start in the center and come out.
Well, because they can force them into groups together. They'll know where they are. But the thing of it is they can just start taking out the infrastructure, take the roads out, take the electricity out, take the water out. What I do first is I take the water out and give them a couple of days, and I take the electricity out and give them a couple of days to get out, and then I take the roads out so they can't come back. And then after they're gone, just start leveling the city, just turn it to dust. And then that way, that city's never coming back again. It's done. It's over with. Let's move on to the next one. And that way, Iran itself knows, okay, they're serious. They're going to wipe us out of existence if we don't do something.
I think the first move.
I don't think they think we're really that serious.
Take out their Capitol State building, whatever their main big state building is, wherever the president does most of his work. Blow it up.
No, they already did that. That's how they killed what's his name. They took that out. That's how they killed them 40 people.
No. They got those guys in bunkers, most of them.
No, the 40. The 40 were actually in a meeting next to the base in the room. Yeah, they were actually in a meeting. They didn't think they were going to get killed. They weren't even worried about it from what they said. They weren't. That's why they got so many of them. It's they blew the living shit out of them. But that's Israel. Israel and the United States was running good.
I thought except for the one, a couple examples where they got some dudes with a drone in a high-rise hotel in like Turkey or whatever. I thought they got most of those dudes in bunkers hiding like cowards.
No, because in the beginning there was no war. There was nothing going on. So they didn't think they were going to be bombed. Nobody was bombing any cities. Nobody was bombing anything in Tehran. Nobody was doing any of that. So there was no threat. Or at least there wasn't no perceived threat. Yeah, they just rolled right in there and just bombed the living shit out of them.
Well, regardless, I mean, they're probably out of AAA emplacements and ammunition. But I would really like to see, and I don't care if it's on CNN or not, because when the first Iraq war went off in '93, it came that CNN like broadcast it live. I mean, like,
well, that's when CNN was a good station, dude.
Right?
Yeah, that's what CNN.
They were just starting out, right? But that's what I want to see happening right now over Tehran is nothing but AAA tracer fire as they're shooting at planes of ours that have already come by and done the damage, and they're shooting at ghosts. And then I want to see their government collapse. I think it's time. I mean, it's beyond time and past time. I think Trump is a fool for standing there and saying, continuing to talk to these people while they're.
But the problem is,
here's the problem. He's in there talking to them while on the other side of the country, their counterparts are saying, "We're not going to stop the nuclear programming. Blow them up." Sorry.
But that's the problem. You've got 4 different faction government going on now. You can't just go around killing people because you got one group that don't want to behave itself.
Yeah,
you can kill them. You can kill that group, but you can't go kill the other groups because because then right now it's already a teetering thing on world affair as this fucking war is raging anyway. So Trump's got to be careful on what he's doing, how he's doing it. But it's not even that. There's nobody to bomb anymore. They were talking about this today. Pete was talking about this. He said they're pretty sure the Ayatollah's dead. The new one, they're pretty sure he's dead. And
he's been dead.
And they think there's no real connectivity. And then they were talking about they don't have any. America's jamming their airwaves, so they can't use radio to communicate across the country or satellite. So they're like, there's no way they're talking to anybody outside their cities unless it's being done by letter. By hand.
We should wait. We should wait until like midnight tonight, and then send an EMP and destroy all electronics that are on at night. And then in the daytime, do it again. Boom, because they won't expect us to do it in the daytime. That would be turn off their electricity right away.
Well, the war needs to
end. You know what, Joe? Jay's chomping at the bit there, buddy. He's chomping, man.
I've been saying this for 40-some years, Sean, that, blow these.
I know you
up.
have.
I mean, to steal a phrase from Booger Presley in Revenge of the Nerds, when after they got beaten up by the jocks, they asked him what they should do, and he said, "Blow their fucking houses up." Sorry, you had a chance 40 years ago to do this the right way, and the U.S. government didn't. Now they are adamant that they're going to keep getting a nuclear bomb until they can throw it at Israel. That is their goal. I'm sorry, but that is a tenet of war. Blow their fucking houses up.
Yeah, it amazes me that Iran thinks that if they nuke Israel, that they're going to survive that.
What's going to happen after that? World War III will definitely start right then.
Actually, you know what? It won't. That no.
The U.S. is going to bomb the living shit out of the rest of the understanding.
Actually, if they do it the right way, if Iran just hits Israel, like the main city in Israel with 1 or 2 nukes, and Israel retaliates with its 160, that's the end of the war right there. There is no more Iran. It's completely gone. Israel will survive, greatly diminished, especially in population, because it probably lost half its population.
The alleged cradle of civilization under radioactive poisoning.
Yeah, well, at least half
80,000 years.
Yeah. No, they'll clean
at
that
least,
up. No, they'll clean that up in less than a year. That's like Chernobyl. They could have cleaned Chernobyl up. They just didn't want to. They just encased it in concrete. But they could have cleaned it up. They just didn't want to do it. They could, and because they're cleaning up Chernobyl. I mean, not Chernobyl. Fukushima. Yeah, but they not want to come out. They're cleaning that one up. So I mean, these things can be cleaned up. But we watched them clean up Bikini Atoll. They just came in and took off 5 meters of the topsoil, and came back and put new. And the water.
So wait a minute. So the UFOs have given technology or taught the at least the compartmentalized military industrial complex to neutralize radiation?
No, they don't neutralize it. They just scoop it up, go bury it in a hole somewhere, and put down new soil. They're not neutralizing
enough soil with a lead barrier to keep you from what's below it. Okay.
That's no. Actually, so they learned at Bikini Atoll because it was a rock bottom. It didn't penetrate the rock, and the water and the sand washed it away. And the amount of water there is enormous. So it wasn't even any radiation in the water, even with all them sunken ships out there. There wasn't. It's just a sheer amount of water. Yeah. So plus.
But what if the atoll is it coming back or is it gone? I mean,
it's so they've been trying. People keep trying to move on the damn thing. So they put the new topsoil on. They did everything. It's got palm trees on. It's got birds on it. It looks like just a little island out there that you would see.
Right.
But they don't want to let people live on it because they're still not sure if there's not some radiation somewhere. I mean, they blew up a couple of nukes. It wasn't just one nuke they blew up.
A couple. I mean, for a couple of decades, they blew that fleet up twice. They didn't go down the first time.
I think they
remember we talked about this.
they definitely blew the living shit out of it a couple of times.
Yeah,
it's
I think it's. I know there's the 2 that we have on film, but I guarantee you there's more than that. Hey Google, in total, how many total nuclear devices has the U.S. government exploded on and outside of Earth?
The United States government has conducted a total of 1,054 nuclear tests. This figure includes the 2 atomic bombs dropped on Japan during World War II, as well as atmospheric and underground testing conducted between 1945 and 1992.
1,054 explosions.
Ask her how many times Russia did it.
Hey, Google, how many times has Russia tested nuclear weapons inside and outside the planet?
The Soviet Union, and later Russia, conducted a total of 715 nuclear tests. These tests involved 969 total nuclear devices detonated across various environments.
So when you do everybody, it's around 2,000 of these tests. And look, and we're all living on a healthy, happy planet. After 2,000 nuclear weapons have been detonated on, that tells you something, Jay. One, it tells you we were lied to about some stuff on how it actually works. No, Gene, a lot of these are underground and underwater. That's why.
Yeah, still, okay. Maybe the lingering effects can be more easily ignored or wiped over or cleaned up, but you still don't want to be near one. I don't care if you have sunblock 3000, you won't survive the heat blast. You won't survive it if you're standing in it and you're fireproof. Let's just say you're like Wolverine and your body is completely fireproof. You'll regenerate instantly. When the bomb goes off, it will instantly incinerate all of the oxygen. So you'll suffocate within minutes before the bomb finishes its, explosion.
Just hold your breath, man. You'll be all right.
Because what will happen is that the explosion will create a vacuum in the atmosphere where there's no oxygen, and when that fire goes away, the rest of it will go and it'll suck the oxygen out of your lungs. You will suffocate instantly.
No, got iron lung, man. Just put a little cork in your mouth, one in your ass, you'll be fine.
Not under that kind of force. I'm sorry. I mean, in the comic books, Wolverine has skeleton that's covered in an indestructible metal, and he's destroyed with a nuclear weapon one time, and he survives it. But that's a comic book. If you're near one, you're not going to survive. I'm sorry.
I got a force shield, man. I'll just go. Nothing affects it. Nothing affects it.
Say I love you, man.
And you walk.
Let me ask you this, Joe. If we unleash this nuclear bomb and blow Iran to hell and flatten it out, what part of the United States would this radiation cover? California or New Jersey?
No, actually, Iran's further enough south that it would probably affect. I'd have to get a map up to look, but I'm thinking it would probably more affect Central America.
Hey, Google, what countries across the globe is Iran parallel to, going from east to west?
Gotta be somewhere in South America or Central.
Second parallel north, which is roughly where Iran is located. Several other countries and regions share that same latitude. Moving from east to west, these include parts of Japan, China, Afghanistan, Iraq, Israel, and the United States.
Ooh, part of it is the United States.
We'd be hit last, but we'd be hit diminishingly, but we'd be hit, but it would go across, hitting the countries in order east to west, because that's the way the radiation would go.
Well, and that all depends on yield, megaton. It may never even get to us. It may not even get to China. It just depends. See, the bombs that if we drop a real bomb,
and if it happens, if it is as stupid as this sounds, if it happens to go through a hurricane or typhoon on its way to us, that'll wash most of the radiation down to the planet.
It's no, Jack. If we launch a real nuke, I mean, if we're talking 50 kilotons. Or if we use a MIRV, which has got 12 or 16 warheads on it.
Hey, Google, what's the weakest nuclear weapon in possession of the United States?
Oh, it's got to be like 1 kiloton or something, half kiloton.
Yeah.
The weakest nuclear weapon ever deployed by the United States was the W-54 warhead. When used in the Davy Crockett tactical system, it had a variable explosive yield as low as 10 tons of TNT.
Hey, Google, what is the current nuclear arsenal of the United States' weakest weapon?
Oh, she might tell you something there you don't like.
Nuclear weapon currently in the United States active stockpile is the B-6112 gravity bomb. It features a variable yield, or dial-a yield, design, with its lowest selectable setting being 0.3 kilotons, which is equivalent to 300 tons of TNT.
0.3 kilotons.
Yeah, so we got baby bombs. Look at that. We got baby bombs.
Which is still 3 kilotons is 300 times more
powerful.
No,
it's 0.3 kilotons. It's 0.3 kilotons. Not 3 kilotons. It's 0.3 kilotons. It's not even a kiloton.
0.3, Jay.
It's 0.3 kilotons.
The one in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they weren't even a kiloton either.
Oh, no, they weren't. They I don't even think they were a quarter kiloton.
Hey, Google, compared to the bombs dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima and the current weakest nuclear weapon in the United States, which one is stronger?
Sean.
Oh my God, that's a long commercial.
Was the most powerful of those three, with a yield of about 21 kilotons.
Okay, so they're weaker than the Nagasaki bomb. Hey, Google, stop.
Yeah, they're yeah. This is like point. This is a nothing bomb. If you drop this would maybe blow up like 2 blocks or something. It would irradiate everything though, but it wouldn't be that big of an explosion.
No, I don't think 2 blocks. I think. Hey, Google,
Tactical.
What is the effective kill range of the weakest U.S. tactical nuclear weapon?
Quarter mile.
The effective range for the B-6112 at its 0.3 kiloton setting depends heavily on the target, terrain, and whether it is used as an airburst or a surface burst. Because it is designed for precision, it is intended to neutralize specific military targets while minimizing damage to the surrounding area.
Yeah.
But there is no single fixed kill range.
See, all of these, we've talked about this before, but all of these tactical nukes, they call them.
How those yield settings are managed.
Yeah.
You want to hear that?
Yeah, all the tactical. I already knew about
yes.
All right. What do you want to hear by Dustin Lynch? Playing on Spotify.
Never mind. Hey, Google, stop.
I already knew about dialable settings because I was in the military, but
hey, Google, stop.
I didn't know that we went that low. I thought a quarter kiloton was as low as we went, not 0.3.
Look,
so
That A612 whatever, it's apparently can go from 0.3 to, I forget what she said, 12 kilotons.
Oh yeah, it could probably go up. It could probably get up into a couple good solid kilotons.
But it was a system called dial, whatever.
Yeah, they were, but those were designed for specific hardened targets. So the Navy and the Air Force both had missiles. They low yield tactical nukes, but it's so like, let's say you've got one of those reinforced concrete buildings with the steel liners inside, and you want to get to somebody. Well, a compression bomb is not going to do it, but a low yield, a low kiloton nuke will. The simple heat alone will melt through anything it's got to go through, and with that combined with the force of the explosion, it'll break into anything. And so they work really well, and we've used them, and that's what the suitcase nuke was designed on, to dial up nuke. That's what it was originally. Well, that's what the Russians
also has two different delivery methods as well as different intensity modes. It can be air burst or ground burst, so you can set it for either or.
Yeah, that's why they had the suitcase nuke, because it was a ground burst. Just click it, set it, and walk away.
Well, unless you go all the way to the top of the air, like the Empire State Building, then it would be you could do an air burst that way.
Well, you could do that too, yeah, because once you're 500 feet off the
ground, who and how would want to climb all the way up to the Empire State Building?
They got an elevator. They got elevator.
Elevators, silly. Look,
and they got an observation tower up there. So
you get on the elevator on ground level 1. You put the suitcase down. You hit the go button. You now have 2 hours. You get off on the second floor. You send that elevator all the way up to the top with that suitcase, and you get the F out of there. And then boom.
What about the other levels? What about the other levels? You know what I mean? What happens if it stops on 3?
If it stops on 3, it's going to knock the bottom of the building out and it's going to fucking fall over.
But it's still going to put the city up.
Yeah. It's going to go boom, and the building's going to go woo. If it just doesn't explode upright, where you might do that too.
But they also have express elevators that go like certain. So if you go up like halfway or a third of the way up, you can put it on an express elevator that doesn't stop in between. It goes all the way to the top. Boom.
I wouldn't even do it that way. I would go up there all the way to the top, put the briefcase behind something, turn it on, get on the elevator, go down, and leave. And that way you know it's up there, and you could even lock it to something, put a key on it or something, lock that bitch up. 10 minutes later, boom, 6 city blocks are gone.
Well, I hope you give yourself more time than that to get out of the city, but yeah.
Nah, terrorists are stupid. This is what the end did all the time.
Well, yeah, they're expecting 77 Vestal Virgins on their way up there or whatever. Idiots.
No, Gene, actually, you mean a real terror bomb? A real terror bomb is not going to be a nuke. A nuke, don't get me wrong, a nuke would put a lot of terror, but a dirty bomb would be a much more efficient way of terrorizing a population.
Yeah, because the people that don't die from the immediate explosions and fires are going to die slowly later on from.
Actually, a real dirty bomb where you just put it on a truck and let it ride around the city doesn't have any fires or anything. It just puts out an enormous amount of EMP and an enormous amount of radiation. It just kills everybody. You don't even know until it's too late. You're just dead. You're walking along, all of a sudden you start feeling sick, you start puking blood, and poop you hit the floor. You're down. You don't disintegrate anything. You just
fall out first. But
I don't know. With that kind of levels, you're probably dead before even that happens.
Maybe, yeah.
Barbecue.
Drive safely, Heidi. Drive safely.
Yeah. Take that nuke out your trunk, Heidi. Don't go driving around with that nuke in your trunk. You might accidentally bump something. I don't want to hear that Denver was dust in the morning.
Oh, come on. Lucky Charms shit, Heidi. No, not Lucky Charms. Freaking Count Chocula. That's the cereal. Count Chocula.
Mike, dirty bombs are the reason we don't have nuclear aircraft today. Yes, we would have nuclear aircraft. They'd already designed and built them, and they were very successful. It's very powerful, very successful. One rod, like a 747, one rod could power for 5 years. It's yeah.
But why haven't I don't understand that, Joe? Why would dirty bombs stop it from doing that, making the play?
Because you blow up one plane and you got a dirty bomb. The radioactive mess.
Oh, okay.
And since planes are so vulnerable flying around in every country for that matter,
Uh-huh.
you just got a bunch of nuclear
Heidi-
weapons flying around the sky.
Heidi just said, "Ha ha ha! I'm a tad more responsible, Joe. No worries."
I don't know, Heidi. I've heard some stories, Boo. We have mutual friends, and I've heard some stories. And when I talk to Heidi, they always do this to me. I'm not even sure what this means, man. They're like, I say Heidi, and they're like, shh. It's like something out of a sci-fi
Come.
movie, really. Whoosh. I'm like, what the hell? Whoosh. What the hell does that mean?
Damn straight. Chocolate. Count Chocula. Sean, not Frankenberry. Please.
They've
Stop.
gone queer Chocula on the show.
Fruity pepper. Fruity people.
Honey
Pebbles. Ooh.
Honey Nut Cheerios. with
Honey Nut
chocolate milk,
Cheerio
man.
with chocolate milk? Oh my God.
It'll
is
make
that
you want to
sick?
slap your mama, Sean. I promise you. Don't do it, but you'll want to.
They'd probably put me in the freaking hospital, dude.
All right,
If you're
Pete, I'm going to get some
diabetic-
real
Oh,
news. These guys have
Oh,
lost
you're
their
all
mind.
sick. You guys are sick, man. Kara's going Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles mixed together.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's-
God.
That's almost like pizza and pineapple. Ugh. But Honey Nut Cheerios and chocolate milk. That's good stuff. I tell you, it'll make you want to slap your mama. You don't want to, don't do it, but it'll make you want to.
But back to the show, guys. Excuse me. Since I only am on Fridays now because I'm happy. But so do they make dirty bombs now, Joe?
Because he's queer.
Yeah, sure do.
Why'd you say that, Joe? Why'd you say
Dirty
that? I'm
dirty
offended.
bombs are anything. What? What?
No
You don't know
bomb.
because we took the queer word back, right?
Oh yeah,
You
that's right. I
understand that,
forgot.
right? Queer means
Okay, yeah.
strange
I'm
and
queer.
weird. Yeah, doesn't mean yeah. So I was using it on Linda earlier, but no, people, we've taken it back. No, we own it now. I actually got into it with somebody from NBC News just recently about this. I'm like, no, we've taken it back. It's our word. We loaned it to the gay population for a while, but you know what? We wanted our word back now, and we're going to take the gay word back too, just so y'all know that, because gay means happy. I don't want to be thinking about somebody's sexual organs when we say gay or queer, because queer just means that you're strange and weird in a kind of fun, weird kind of way. Yes, that's what that means. Okay,
It doesn't mean you're the 96th gender.
Yeah, so or whatever gender you chose not to be. Or to be.
96 gender?
Yeah, there's that
96
idiot
gender.
on Facebook or something. He said there's 96 genders or something to that effect. I'm like, yeah, really? Let's see that list.
Yeah,
Did they
well,
have pink hair?
probably.
I have no idea, but I would not be surprised. I mean, they probably have multicolored hair because they can't make up a decision.
Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully, you'll let me play these tonight.
There ain't nothing flowing down here at the bottom.
No, I haven't put it down there yet. Just Linda Lou chick, man. She sends me so much shit. Her and the mega sassy girl. Well, who the fuck are you two bitches? I know the Linda Lou is a little Asian girl who used to do fundraising for the Democrats, which we got a bunch of shit on them tonight. We need to get into too. But hold on, let me go find out where I was. All right, here we go. Oh, look at these three handsome guys. Yes, this guy in the bottom's by far the most handsome though. Let's see.
What? Which one?
The one on the bottom, man. The one on the bottom, man. The guy in the white, man. Okay, what's this? Watch what science found 7 miles beneath the ocean. We barely started looking.
What?
Wow, it looks like a city.
Another city under the ocean.
7 miles, Jay. Do you know how little water it is? I mean, that's definitely something.
7 miles under the water?
That's what it says. Let me see if we may have audio with this. Some of these have audio. Let's see.
That's pretty deep. Well, I've been saying it for years, even before I was on this network. People always ask, why don't we know so much about our history? Like, I'm telling you that the reason is because most of it's underwater still.
A good bit of it is.
Flood,
No doubt about that.
It buried a whole bunch. The idea was to bury a whole bunch of shit. It worked.
But just no, man. Okay, where did it go? What did I do with it? I don't know. This computer's been so squirrely lately. I gotta be careful. Let's close some stuff, being on a safe side. Okay.
Raccoon
Whoa,
bunny
what was that?
veg
That
for a
was
minute.
scary.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Heidi. That'd be cool.
Right,
What's
now,
a
this is
raccoon
too
bunny? Is that
long.
kind of like the jackalope?
The raccoon
Okay,
bunny.
it's on the Indian Ocean floor. Well, they find all kind of weird structures down here. Sorry, guys, can't watch because it's 30 minutes long. But
That I'll tell you what, the Indian Ocean is nice and calm. It's not really choppy.
hold up,
It's
it's
calm.
definitely
The Mediterranean's calm.
some of them are definitely calmer than others. That's for sure. That's
Jay, I was up. Jay, I was up. I was up in the Black Sea. Up.
Oh wow! On the Independence?
Yes, and that's
Cool.
what the Okay, I'm telling you guys, it is the most choppiest sea ever. It is because it's real shallow and it's craziness. What the hell's that?
Hold my beer, because here, life doesn't even need volcanic heat. It runs on chemistry. The towers are slathered in mats of archaea, ancient microbes so old and so weird they don't breathe oxygen and they don't eat plants on account of there being, no plants down there. They eat the hydrogen and methane wheezing out of the rock. The mountain is basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for them. And crawling all over these towers are little see-through shrimp and snails and other tiny freeloaders, trillions of microorganisms all making a comfortable living in a spot that by rights should just be a tomb. Which is exactly why NASA has its nose pressed against the glass on this one. Think about it. If life can boot itself up on nothing more than water having a chemical reaction with rock, then it doesn't need a nice sunny place with a beach. It could be happening right now, this second, under the ice of Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, or Europa, one of Jupiter's, both of which are hiding entire liquid oceans beneath their frozen shells. So the Lost City might not just be a freak show at the bottom of our ocean, it might be the instruction manual for building life anywhere.
What? Oh, no,
I was working on one
Always when it gets
greasy
interesting, they break these things in.
yes. Well, I mean, we just it's well, no, people, y'all can check that out. There's a 30-minute article on it. It's interesting stuff. They just keep finding stuff, and we keep finding that life is the norm and not the exception. We find it all over the planet. I mean, I remember when they found it at Black Smokers, how they were like, "Oh no, how can this be?" Because of the heat and the chemicals, they didn't think anything could live there. Yeah, I know.
Well, that was the main argument with the scientists in the Bat Escape project in 1957-58. Jacques Cousteau being one of the scientists. Half the group was of the impression that we were going to send this Bat Escape called the Trieste to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, 8 miles down. One half said no way there's going to be life, can't be. The others had said they were going to, we'll find something like bacteria or viruses or something. We'll find something. Well, they found a bony fish, like a sole or a flat fish, like a flounder. And since then, we found an ecosystem that is as equally as vast as the one up here.
It's crazy how things survive.
They're finding new creatures every day, or at least one a week.
Hey, Miss.
Panicked
Kevin?
Russian party
Hey,
begs foreign allies to stop helping.
What? Who said that? What did you say again?
We have no connection. It says panicked Russian party begs foreign allies to stop helping. We have no connection. They're I guess the money that's going to them is helping to keep the Russians down. Hey, what is this? Let's see if we can see this. Does this do something? Let's see. Oh, it does do something. Oh, and it's only 3 minutes 45 seconds. Okay, let's go check this out. And where has my little crazy person gone? Jesse, this is what the astronauts seen on the moon. All right. Somebody.
And of course, they wouldn't show anything from that make-believe planet Mars.
They always show.
What? Damn it.
Man, what is with the commercials, man? Come on. I thought this was a paid account. We must be on the wrong account or something. Maybe, sort of, could be. Who knows for sure?
Well, you
What's
know
that,
what? When you're listening to the ham radios, my cousin is a Pittsburgh policeman, and I have a CB band, a radio for police, and they have their own personal channel that they use that they don't put out there.
Yeah, but if you've got a scanner, you can pick it up. I'll tell you what I didn't like about scanners. When I first started doing radio, when I was up real late with the support group, or when I was working on gigs for the thing, you would pick up personal phone calls in the middle of the night. I mean, you know, guy and a girl talking that turned into something much, much steamier. And it's just crazy that you'd actually hear
Mish said.
It's just queer.
Look what Mish said. Look at Mish said. Maybe they ate the cheese the moon was made of, made them sad.
Gave him gas, probably. And it's all right. Now, this is something we've talked about on this show many times. Well, I'm just saying, get gas, man. That's all.
You don't.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Wrong button. Whoops. No, I just hit the wrong one. Well, because when you're using Facebook, sometimes it jumps you to a different page and you gotta switch. Yeah, I don't make the rules, they do. You know, when you're a billionaire, you can do whatever the hell you want. This is Project Thor.
I heard about that.
Jay and I have talked about this a lot now. This is like the throes of Project Thor. Just to give you an idea what it is. Let me
unmute.
I like to see.
Start it over.
If it would, there we go.
The U.S. space. While most 20th century battles were
Mish,
fought
you put a smile on my face all the time.
to take over the world in a few decades. After years of belligerence and endless one-upping, the United States is finally fighting for control of the Taiwan Strait. And in a surprising maneuver, the U.S. Space Force has deployed a scheme almost 100 years in the making. Developed as part of Project Thor during the Cold War, the mystery weapon involves 9-ton tungsten rods that are dropped from orbit. As the telephone pole-sized rods fall from the sky, the object is supposed to reach 10 times the speed of sound, hitting the Earth with as much power as a nuclear weapon. While challenging the 1967 Space Treaty without technically breaking the agreement, the United States might just be on the verge of weaponizing outer space with its kinetic rods from God. Hit from above. Going back to the earliest days of the Cold War, outer space became a crucial subject of study to use it for warfare applications. However, one of the most significant problems of using space as a postmodern battlefield is that nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons in orbit have been banned since the Outer Space Treaty of 1967. Still, there may be a loophole that the United States has tried to take advantage of for decades. Instead of relying on chemicals and engineering for its devastating impact, a new kind of weapon could depend solely on its mere kinetic force. In fact, Earthside kinetic strikes have already been used as far back as World War I, when masses of heavy metallic objects were dropped by aircraft on top of enemy positions, with the effect being proportional to machine gun fire. During the Vietnam and Korean Wars, there was some use of lazy dog bombs, a kinetic projectile shaped like a conventional bomb that could reach 500 miles per hour during its fall, penetrating up to 9 inches of concrete. However, all rules change in orbit. In a kinetic orbital strike, a solid object would be dropped from orbit towards a target, and the sheer power of the kinetic impact would be similar to the...
All right, you're officially protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurance. Hey, we know it's more than just a bike.
It's freedom.
It's therapy.
It's how I get to work. So real.
Never thought about it like that.
That's pretty good.
Explosive yield of a ground-penetrating nuclear weapon.
Idiots.
Enter Project Thor, a long-rumored program that dwells on these matters and is developed by
Now,
the
people,
United
this
States Air
project's
Force.
not supposed to exist.
rods from God. While the New York Times referred to the concept as tungsten thunderbolts, a more common nickname is simply rods from God. The weapon system would supposedly involve a satellite carrying a magazine with heavy objects, most likely telephone pole-sized kinetic projectile rods made of tungsten, each weighing around 9 tons, with fins attached to keep them straight. These sorts of destruction weapons would orbit indefinitely in space until needed, and they would always be ready to be whisked into any corner of the world within minutes. Powered by gravity alone, the rod would then be directed toward a target while gaining tremendous velocity and speed. Going faster than 5 miles per second in orbit, the weapon would eventually reach an impact speed of an eye-opening Mach 10. Initially developed by former Boeing operations researcher Jerry Parnell, the weapon's concept has inspired more than one science fiction story, especially as the originator later became a writer.
Oh shit, huh?
Still, many believe the rods from God could actually be ready for deployment soon, or that they're already lurking in space. A new century.
Right, put 'em up
For
there when
decades,
we had the show.
the American military has spoken in hints and whispers about its plans to develop kinetic weapons in space. And while no Pentagon official has yet acknowledged how far along the research is, or even confirmed that any sort of effort is underway, the concept persists to this day. In 2002, a Rand Corporation study named Space Weapons Earth Wars dedicated several pages to the different applications of kinetic weapons technology. At a time when the Pentagon was on an all-time high alert after the September 11th attacks, an Air Force report gave what analysts call the most detailed picture since the end.
But
I was working on one greasy pan. I went to get a scraper and...
it can't be 20 seconds. That's
why
ridiculous.
I switched to Dawn Pro. It cuts through tough commercial grease and easily rinses away. Dawn Pro, the better professional grease getter.
Of the Cold War of the United States' efforts to turn outer space into a battlefield. Released in November of 2003, the United States Air Force Transformation Flight Plan report makes American space supremacy a top-ranking priority for the 21st century. The document runs through dozens of research programs designed to ensure that America can never be challenged in orbit, and they range from anti-satellite lasers to weapons that would provide the capability to strike ground targets anywhere in the world from space. In addition, the publication references non-nuclear hypervelocity rod bundles in its outline of future space-based weapons and claims that the United States sought to use the kinetic weapon as a bunker-busting platform. Upon hitting the Earth's surface, these tungsten rods could penetrate hundreds of feet into the ground, releasing built-up kinetic energy and creating an explosion equivalent to 11.5 tons of TNT with zero fallout.
Wow.
However,
nuclear.
according to rumors that surfaced after the Air Force report was published, if the so-called rods from God ever materialized, it wouldn't be for at least 15 years. Several detractors spoke out about the development of such weapons, claiming that it would also prompt many countries to respond with something similar, potentially sparking a worldwide arms race in orbit. Soon, the rumored project went dark once again. Impossible price tag.
Yeah. That's what they said about the moon.
According to several experts, the biggest fault of the rumored project has always been money. In 2020, the cost to carry a single pound into space was around $10,000. With the rods weighing almost 10 tons each, the project became cost prohibitive. But despite the hefty price tag, many kinetic weapons concepts have continuously re-emerged since the end of the Cold War. And some of the technology behind the rods from God has somewhat been used by the American Armed Forces. In 2012, naval research claimed the successful use of a 25-pound hypervelocity projectile with 32 megajoules of energy that penetrated 7 steel plates.
It's a rail gun.
And as recently as 2020, a 100-pound modified kinetic weapon fitted with detachable blades for extra impact was dropped from an aircraft on top of a terrorist vehicle. Ultimately, it is believed the rods from God could become a reality in the next few decades, if engineers and project planners can work out the exorbitant price tag.
Don't worry, guys. They put it up there when it was
New beginnings.
Now we're just going to take them with rods.
In 2018, the Chinese government released CCTV footage showing 3 wide-area vehicle scaled-down models involved in an aircraft air release test. Conducted in the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center of China, the 3 models then fell into a free flight state after being lifted to high altitude by a balloon. During the freefall, the objects exceeded the speed of sound, but their parachutes finally opened to land and recover. According to netizens, this unique and strange test indicated that the ultimate rods from God weapons were copied by China and will soon be launched. Meanwhile, in a meeting with the United States National Space Council, former President Donald J. Trump declared that it was not enough to have American presence in space, but that complete dominance was a necessity. That day, Trump directed the Department of Defense and the Pentagon to establish the 6th branch of the United States Armed Forces, the Space Force. Inaugurated the following year, the ever-growing organization is also fully supported by President Joe Biden's administration.
Yeah,
Notably, the Space Force's 2022
been around since before Trump, though, unfortunately. Another damn commercial.
Right there, commercial. Sorry, guys, these
like
aren't
every
our
20
commercials.
seconds. That's ridiculous. It really is.
Why?
Budget request
This is
amounted to
whoever owns this
$17.4 billion,
channel.
a significant
If
increase
you
from
can
the
say how many
previous year.
commercials you want to play, you get more
If
money.
accepted, the budget would grow the service by up to
We don't do
8,400 space-farer satellites from the Army and Navy to the new service. In addition, the Space Force would finance more than $800 million in new classified programs. Perhaps enough to fund the Rods from God program once and for all.
Yeah,
Space Force
it's probably
Substance
past concept.
Thank you for watching our video. Stay tuned.
Don't whisper dirty at us, dude. We don't know you. You better be doing that. We'll come smack you upside the head or something. Let's see. What do we got here? What do we got next? We've got mysterious alien egg found in Alaska. We may check that out after a while.
What? Yeah, let's look at that. What the hell?
No, we're saving that for later. Let's see. Surgeons lost this man for 45 minutes. He comes back with the most detailed account of having yet. Ooh,
Wow.
that could be interesting. Let's see. He was the last American to fly solo in Mercury, and he claimed something followed him home.
John Glenn?
Followed him, Gordon Cooper, I think is who it was.
Gordon. All right.
Yeah, that's what it says right here, but that's just kind of detached under the article. So, like 22 atomic bombs. The asteroid that will hit Earth is called Bennu. Bennu. Tutu. Bennu. Shut up, people. Don't write stupid shit like that. That's one of the ones one day in the future will run into us. Oh, now this is interesting. This is bloody interesting. So, first off, before we talk about this next thing, let me put it on the screen. The Air Force and the Navy said that they're up in the release of the F-47s.
Oh, wow.
So they were scheduled for 2029 and 2030. So some of them are going to come out mid next year, and the squadrons are talking about. They said they've already got a test squadron. It's a flying squadron now. It was a test squadron, not just a squadron. And they'll have one or two more. So the original amount count is just to have the same amount of we have of F-22s in the beginning. And then by 2030, I think they said they're going to up them if everything's on schedule to 500. But the gentleman said the reason why they may not decide to up them too fast is because let me see if we can find this.
There's going to be another platform coming right up behind it, probably.
Let's see.
Making it obsolete within years of being deployed.
It's going to be this thing right here.
What is this thing? Oh my God.
7th generation fighter, already decades ahead of schedule.
Huh.
So
like the iPhone.
It's there's actually a flying version of this already.
Yeah.
Well, the seventh generation is supposed to be a space plane.
Yes, multimedia, meaning it can go underwater, in the atmosphere, and out of the atmosphere, and possibly through lava, stars, galactic debris, you name it.
That's one day in the future, but I think these are just supposed to be in space. Well, stealth isn't going to be enough anymore, like our submarines, because of all the new ways of scanning the water. It's a lot harder to hide your submarines now than it used to be. Well, passive sonar passive sonar is a bitch, man, because it just lays it out there, and anything that passes through it, it's got you.
Mm-hmm.
It's always on. Yeah, it's the way it's made. It just works really well. And it's more than that. That it's all kinds of subnets all over the place.
Well, the best way to describe it is that there's two. There are now. I don't know. We have a different system now, but when we're using the sonar, when it was just sonar, that was almost always on. When they added the passive arrays, the towed sonar arrays, that's the passive systems, which Joe said is always on. All it is a series of underwater microphones that listen. And then when you turn the sonar on, the active system, that's the pinging part. It sends out sounds that when that thing echoes back, that sound it puts out when it echoes back to the same microphones, it's like an X-ray. It like triples there, and that also gives them the exact clarity they need to define a submarine shape versus a whale.
Plus, there's also noises that go along with it. So this seventh generation is going to have 4 engines to start off with. It's going to
one for each media, I would assume.
They're talking Mach 15, Mach 18. So it's definitely going to be in and out the atmosphere.
Now that's atmosphere. Or is that the outer space?
Doesn't say. It just says the guy's basically saying they took the F-22 and just put it on steroids. I mean, that's really basically what they're saying. Moscow mayor predicts latest Putin overhaul will kill the country. Oh, ouch. Getting back. So the reason I was bringing up the F-47 in the first place is, so y'all don't understand how the release works. So for every plane that's released, there's either going to be 3 or 4 AI fighters. They're drones, basically. They're mini F-47s is what they are. That can pull much, much more Gs and can actually go faster and do more things because there's no pilot inside. And they're there to protect that F-47. All 5 planes will be carrying weapons. And think about this. The F-47 can see a Chinese jet or a Russian jet a full 20 or 30 minutes before they see them. So what that means is they can set up, launch, come in really hot, launch really hot using hypersonic, and before the other jets can even identify it's too late, they're dead.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot harder to do that to us because our sensors can see much further out. Well, America believes in, let's see.
Our planes are faster, for one, so they have to be able to see further out because they approach immovable objects quicker, so they must have better eyeballs.
James, what do you mean? Oh, no. Okay. So overall, fighter jet speeds, the Russians beat the United States for the most part. They had a lot of planes that could do Mach 2, Mach 2.5. U.S. likes to stay between Mach 5 and 1.5 and 2. That's where they like to be. But no, we have jets that'll do Mach 2.5. But that Russia, like that last SU, what is it, the 57 they put out? That's what it does. It does Mach 2.5. It's a badass beast of a jet on paper. I've only ever seen one of them flying. As far as I know, that's all there is. It's the same thing with the Chinese 6th generation jet. Wait. Let me turn my camera on. the Chinese 6th generation jet. Yeah. I don't know. I better hope Michelle don't show up. She'll be kicking their asses. You can see me, so I'm not in any trouble. No. Well, no. I mean, so first off, the Chinese talked about this new fancy 6th generation jet, and we found out that it was a layover of another jet. They had just put like a cover, basically, to make another type of jet look like that. Yeah, they got busted. Something happened on one of the wings, tipped up or something. And then they put one up to fly but the engine made so much smoke you could see it coming for like 6 miles. And that was their first stealth fighter ever made, did that as well. Yeah, well, I guess it's the way they build their engines. But China refines everything just like we do.
They had to steal it from us first, but yeah.
Well, they do steal a lot of stuff from us. But no, they're pretty brilliant themselves. AI is what's going to be interesting. So, for China has K3 chips. That's the chips we gave. So to put this in perspective, the chips that we're using right now are on a magnitude, I don't know, 100,000 times more powerful than theirs. And it's illegal to sell these or even let them around these chips. Some of them are manufactured in Taiwan, and they're really strict. They don't want China nowhere around them chips because they don't want China getting their hands on it because China just mass produce them and put them out of business. Yeah. So I'm watching Elon Musk. I'm going to have to go find this clip. Elon Musk basically said, we're fucked. AI is going to fuck us so hard. That's why he's going to Mars.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm serious. So he was doing an interview. So I caught the interview with him and Bill Maher, which was a good interview. And the one with Fetterman and Bill Maher was a good interview too. But this interview was with Elon Musk and that blonde-head reporter. I think she works for the EU News or something. And she's a little reporter, but she's a decent most of the time a halfway fair reporter. But anyway, Elon basically said, look, she said, in one way, we're going to kind of be like the Star Trek world because money's not going to exist anymore. He said, within 10 or 20 years, he said, money won't exist. He said, not at least in the way y'all think. He said, there won't be any need for it. He said, because about 90% of all the jobs being done right now by humans within 20 years will be being done by AI and robots. Wow. So he said that the world will be on basically an even program where how do they say it? Above basic assistance livings will be taken care of. So in other words, you'll get a decent place to live. You'll have access to all kind of foods and clothes and everything for free. Because AI is making it, everything will be so abundant because there won't be hardly any charge for making it. And since AI will be able to build its own robots, which is just scary in itself, humans won't have a fucking thing to do but stick their finger up their ass and spin around in a chair.
There'd be a few people that would like to do that.
But by saying that, it will open up space exploration and ocean exploration for humans. Think about if we can become a society of just explorers, where we don't have to worry about the basic needs of life, that we know that the food's being provided and the care's being given and the doctors are being done and life is going on and getting better every day. If you know that, then you can go out there and explore the universe and have fun doing it. But yeah, Jimmy, you still might get killed because you're exploring a fucking universe and anything can happen in the fucking universe. All you have to do is watch sci-fi one time to know that. If you're a regular sci-fi, you know there's lots of shit that can get you in the universe. Oh, what is that list? I forgot what that was. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, this is more evidence of afterlife, more witness evidence of afterlife. Yes, very convincing afterlife. We got 2 articles on that. This one right here, science under what's that? No, science undercover planets planets superior to Earth for life.
What?
Sorry. So these planets are superior to Earth for life. Let's see if we can.
They're better than us for the rest of their life. That's not fair.
I'm thinking that's what they mean, baby. I'm thinking they mean it's better than our planet for life. Is what I'm thinking they're thinking.
It's better for life to exist. Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
Kind of mean thing to say.
I think they're just telling us, hey, you mons.
Of all the planets in the universe, Earth is clearly the best for life, right?
Wrong.
Wrong. Earth may be great, but scientists have discovered a few worlds that could be even better for life.
Oh, shit.
Behold, KOI 5715.01. Most
JoJo's
of the
world.
contenders on our super habitable planet list aren't the ones you could visit anytime soon. They are very far away. The top spot is
how do you know we can visit them?
3,000 light years away from our solar system.
A warp 10 that would take, what, 2 days?
575.01 would appear to satisfy the most basic requirement for supporting life. It exists in the Goldilocks zone of its star. So conditions wouldn't be too hot or too cold for a key life-supporting ingredient to exist on its surface, liquid water. But it would also check off many boxes to be considered super habitable. The planetary system it belongs to could be 5.5 billion years old, which would make it around 1 billion years older than our own solar system.
4.5, yeah.
And the planet would almost fit the size requirement. When looking for super habitable worlds, scientists keep.
The first day I had on my Lingo biosensor, I sort of had this like aha moment. I was glued to my Lingo app. Monitoring my levels, I started realizing that my body wasn't getting even remotely enough protein. It all sort of clicked.
Keep their eyes peeled for planets that have a mass up to 1.5 times of our planet. And they should be about 10% larger too. This size difference would help the planet retain heat. And if its average temperature was about 5 degrees Celsius higher than Earth's, well, this planet could have even richer biodiversity. Now, being almost double the size of Earth, KOI 5715.01 might overshoot this condition a bit. Besides, studies indicate that this planet is actually colder than Earth. But there's still hope. With the right atmospheric composition, a strong greenhouse effect could raise temperatures to the desired level. And as far as super habitable worlds go, well, we're just getting started. Approximately 2,700 light years away is Kepler 69c. This super Earth could be around 7 billion years old.
Wow, life there could be
perfectly in the
way
estimated
intelligent,
5
like
to
God-like
8 billion-year-old
intelligent.
age range for super habitable planets. This range is based on the 3.5 billion years it took for complex life to appear on Earth. So the best chance for finding life could be on a planet a little older than us. Only this exoplanet could be a little too big to be super habitable. It has a mass almost 4 times that of Earth.
Heavy worlders,
A
all
rocky
right.
planet this big could have a single colossal continent that would have huge deserts in its center. But the coastline, washed by Kepler's ocean, could be your perfect spot to move to. Our next super Earth shares a similar name, Kepler 1126b. Except it would be located ever so slightly closer to home. Yeah, this planet is about 2,073 light years away, and it belongs to a...
ZZ Quill,
You
ZZ
really need to sleep?
Quill.
ZQL has no equal.
The
The restorative sleep you need.
Okay, turn that
ZQL,
music
just
off,
for
man.
sleep.
It's about for
Really
me to
great
sleep.
sleep.
Damn. Sorry, guys. All the audience out there, apologize.
500 million years old. It also orbits a yellow dwarf star, much like our own. Only Kepler 1126b is 2.5 times closer to its star than Earth is to the Sun. But that's no big deal because the star Kepler 1126b orbits is cooler than ours, so the habitable zone would exist in a range much closer in proximity to it. If you aren't feeling this nearness to a scorching hot star, there's another super Earth on our list. And it's at a reasonable distance from home.
Reasonable.
Speculos 2c is located only 106 light years away.
Ooh, that is close.
Not that its proximity gives it any kind of advantage. It would still take you well over 200,000 years to travel to this super Earth. And that's if you moved at the speed of NASA's Parker Solar Probe, the fastest probe ever launched. Speculos 2c does look promising, though. It's about 40% larger than Earth. There's also the potential for it being a rocky planet, just like ours. Now, despite the fact that it also exists in a habitable zone, its red dwarf star is still very small. It's only about 15% the size of our sun. So this planet orbits around its star at a very close distance. And this close distance could mean that Speculos 2c is tidally locked to its star. This super Earth takes 8.5 days to make one full rotation on its axis, as well as one orbit around its star. That would leave one side of the planet in constant daylight and the other in endless night. This means that life could be possible in the Terminator Zone, the thin strip of land between the two sides. We just need to get a better look to find out for sure. But with all these candidates so far away, wouldn't it be nicer if the planets in our own solar system were a little more habitable? Well, that's a story for another What If.
Yeah, what if? That's what I got to say to that. How's that? No, those are just planets that one day we'll go check out. Yeah, sometime in the future. 200 years from now, probably. Maybe less. Depends on who invents the FTL drive, who invents inertial dampeners, and who invents a sensor system that can see a couple of 100 light years ahead while you're traveling at 100 times faster than light.
Yeah, because traveling through space ain't like dusting crops, boy.
Yeah. What do you mean? Light speed don't get you anywhere. It's still at light speed. It still takes 4 years to get to the closest planet to us.
You must go much faster.
So no, at twice light speed, it would take 2 years to get there. Yeah. 4 times it would take a quarter of a year. 8 times it would take about 250 days. No, it wouldn't even take that. It'd take about 25 days. Each time you doubled it, it cuts it in half. So next time it'd be 12 days. So yeah, when you get up to 6 or 7 times, 8 times, you'll get there in a couple minutes. And that's what you want. Yeah, you want to be able to go 4 light years in 2 minutes. All right, we're there. Okay, get out. Well, because the places you want to go, like these planets that are 2,000 light years away, that's a hell of a little ride. And that's just getting started, because remember, our galaxy is 160,000 light years across. So that's a lot of traveling, even with an FTL drive. Gene, FTL just means faster than light. That's all it means. Jeff. It's a fancy way of saying faster than light. No, I got ghost co-host. Yes, I agree with you. Kathleen says y'all. She says y'all biatches. Just you want to get him in trouble? Call Michelle. She'll come over here and straighten her asses out.
Oh man, I fell asleep.
Just
that
I
thing
was looking
about
at other
space,
interesting news blips, but there were
that space thing was like putting me to sleep. The guy.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, experts warn us of what is that? Experts warn of threat on whole other level. Who else could it be if it's not Russia? Who else could it be? If it's not Russia? If it's not Russia, who else?
Please repeat that. Can you please repeat that?
It
That
says,
didn't make any sense to me either, Sean.
I know. Don't feel bad. I'm just reading it. Experts warn of a threat on a whole other level. Pause. Who else could it be if not Russia? Germany? They say it's going to be Germany. Look, see, even these people know not to give Germany any weapons. Jesus. They're saying that Germany will be the one who starts World War III.
Again?
Yeah.
Who said that? Who's the poll?
It doesn't. It comes off this MSN Now group. Who is it? Let's see if we can find out who it says who it is. Near miss. Who is it? NATO, no. Experts warn, no. It ain't giving you the person. Oh, wait. Here we go. Story by Catherine Fritsch. It doesn't give you
German.
Dagens.com USA. US. DAGENS.com US. I don't know. It's the end of the world as we know. Freaking Nazis. I knew them Nazis. They just can't help themselves, man. They just gotta cause trouble. They figured they started World War I and World War II. They might as well freaking start World War III. I mean, what's the big deal after you started two of them?
Why not? Go for broke. Third time's a charm, right?
Scientists detect strange radio signal emitting from from the deep Arctic ice. Sorry, I couldn't get that out. Who cares if it's a deep Arctic ice? You know, what is it? An alien down there? It probably is an alien out there. Iran just appointed a national joke to lead security. This is what a panic face looks like. You want to see what his face looks like? Hold on, let's see. Sean will like him. He looks cute. There you go. There's his face. Whoops.
Trying to keep my.
Who?
He's in charge of Iran security now.
Wow.
Yes, that's what his cute little face looks like. Let's see, Gene, what we got here. This is Pentagon releases new batch of UFO files. Did you see that? Yes, they did today. A new batch of UFO files. No, I guess we can take a peek at that.
Thank you. That helps us out. So are we going to look at some of them?
Yes, we'll put a couple of these on right quick.
All right.
Let me make sure I'm in the right place. Yeah, that's got to be it. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Flipped up in another one. We got to pop that one away.
Yeah, that one's going away. That one's going away. This one's coming up. This one's coming. No, Jack, you got to take it off of Facebook because it used to let you play them off of Facebook, and sometimes it still does. But
when it pops into another pop-up, which is what most time Facebook does, the camera stays on this, but the pop-up's over here. It's a pain in the ass.
All right, you got me up on the screen.
We're up on the screen.
Okay, anybody need a Coke? This is about 5 minutes long. Here we go.
Released a new batch of documents and
right off the bat.
Don't get that with the green.
These companies suck.
Images related to unidentified flying objects. This is now the fifth release under an executive order President Trump signed back in January. It directed the military and other agencies to release more UFO files. So let's bring in Avi Loeb, chair of the UAP Science Council to the U.S. government. So, Avi, let's talk about this. What stands out to you in this
the rest
new
of the U.S. government
UFO files? I see you smiling.
This fifth tranche of UAP data that was released today is different from past releases because there are three remarkable anomalies that are delivered in verbal testimonies rather than digital data in the form of imagery or video, as we have seen before. In fact, I first tried to look for those images or videos, but they were quite disappointing. Instead, the three remarkable testimonies are as follows. One of them is talking about a gunship that on September 2021 was conducting a live fire exercise in the Gulf of Oman, and noticed 25 instances of unidentified objects that looked like cold orbs.
If you're paying more than $42 a month for home insurance, you're getting ripped off. Here's how to fix it. I didn't know I was overpaying on my home insurance until my friend sent me this site that compares rates and discounts available to me.
And they appear to react to the aircraft fire.
People, please do not believe anything that little girl said. You ain't getting no insurance for your house for $42 a month. Unless you live like, I don't know, somewhere that's so safe and so clean and so not, I don't think it's possible. Where I live, it's completely insane. My flood's at that. All right, here. Back to what we're doing. Oh, I love you too, baby. Yes, I do. I love you.
And we're moving together just like dolphins at a speed of up to 1.7 times the speed of sound. So it could be a very unusual swarm of drones, but at that speed, it's really difficult to understand them in terms of known technologies. Then there is a second report which talks about an analog clock that went faster by 20 minutes relative to 2 digital clocks after an encounter with an unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Surprised the digital clock kept working.
That's very strange. It only happened during that time, and 20 minutes, a significant time difference. Then a third testimony by the FBI. It deals with 2 American pilots that were flying over Afghanistan, and they witnessed a craft that measured 500 feet and moving at a speed of 150 knots, which is 77 meters per second. The problem is that there is no existing operational aircraft that matches this size and speed. The largest aircraft ever built spans about 385 feet, short of the 500 feet that was reported. So that's really strange. And the same pilot reported repeating sightings of, during October 2023, somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m., of strange lights that appeared that cannot be explained as satellites because they lasted for hours, whereas satellites often you see them for 5 to 7 minutes before they cross below the horizon.
That long.
Yeah, I'm hearing when you say strange, that means anything out of the ordinary for sure. And, your council has led a few months now of reviewing documents and footage. So do you think any of these newly released materials will cut through some of the skepticism out there?
Well, we need better data, but we have to take it seriously because the biggest mistake a scientist can make is not being curious. When the US government, which is not a scientific organization, comes forward and says, we are not doing our job. There are objects we cannot identify that appear in battlefields, that appear over strategic assets within the US. As an American citizen, it's my duty to help the Pentagon, the intelligence agencies to figure these things out, because at the very least, it's a matter of national security. There is also a chance that we're seeing technologies that were not produced by humans, which will be the biggest discovery ever made in science. So one way or another, it's a win-win situation. I don't feel that my time is being wasted. But the key is, it's like a detective story, to get better data and to find an explanation. I should say that yesterday I worked with a postdoc of mine, Devesh Nandal. We explained one of the unresolved cases that the Pentagon was unable to resolve because we were able to monitor the motion of an object relative to the terrain in the background. We used it sort of like a chessboard that we can monitor the object moving across. And we figured out that this is most likely a hypersonic missile. So it's a mixed bag. Many of these objects are human-made, but maybe among them there is something really spectacular.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your expertise and for always staying on top of this and keeping us educated. Avi Loeb, thank you.
Thank you, Avi. Welcome. Avi, welcome.
All right, Joe, please. Joe.
What?
Joe, what did that guy say in layman's terms, but for like 5 minutes? I did not understand what he was saying.
All he was saying is some of the stuff we're seeing could possibly be extraterrestrial. And if it is, it has life-changing, life-altering for humans on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
One, if you start thinking
Okay.
as a society, you know, think of this. You know, we've been trying to unite the planet through God for 15,000 years or more. Easy 15,000 years or more. Now that we found in all these sunken cities, probably longer than that. But regardless, we've been trying. Problem is we can't all agree on one God. We don't really need to agree on one God if one fucking extraterrestrial shows up with higher moral values than we do and much higher technology than we do and can save us and expand our lives and help us into the golden age. As a human race, we'll accept that. We'll go along blindly and dumbly, and hopefully they're not going to eat us after they fatten us up real good like they did in Defiance. So, yes, in Defiance, they would take these slaves and treat them really good and beautiful and take really care of them, and then at the end they would fatten them up and then eat them. Yes. No, so the aliens don't want to do that to us, though. They have other plans for us. Yes. They really and truly, when you look at society and when you look at the universe itself, I'm sure they would like us to join the galactic community just because of the diversity alone would probably add some fun to the community. But we're just so ignorant and so young and so arrogant that it's hard. I mean, we're coming to a point where you've got Europe's out of it now. Europe is until Europe does something, Europe is done. They're toast. They couldn't even defend themselves. So you've got United States, China, and Russia.
That's it. There's really no other powers on the planet. Even if Europe could, and I don't think they have enough. I don't think they can agree on any object enough to do it. If they could combine Europe and England all as one, maybe they'd have a sizable army. But it's just such a small area combined to even just America. I mean, it's what, roughly a little bit bigger than the size of New England.
What? Oh, not Europe. Europe's pretty big. I mean, it's got 450 million people.
No, come on. Hey, Google, what's the total combined surface area of Europe and England combined to the United States?
Because I think England's the size of Texas by itself.
Europe covers about 3,930,000 square miles. Since England is a country located within Europe, its area is already included in that total. Compared to the United States, which covers about 3,800,000 square miles, Europe is slightly larger by roughly 3.4%.
Wow, okay.
Would you like to know how the size of individual European countries compares to specific U.S. states?
No, not at this time. We've done that before.
So it's always been like that. Well, most people don't realize Brazil is the same size as the continental U.S. Without Alaska, but no, Europe's big, but the problem with Europe is just they're done, they're licked, they're over with. They have no resources.
They have resources, but they squandered them on anything but defense and military.
They don't have any oil on the continent. They really don't have any rare earth minerals. China has all that, or we do, or South Americans do, but they don't. They don't really have anything. I mean, most of their food's imported now. A lot of their vehicles are imported. They have become what they wanted to be. They wanted to be a wealthy world that could try to be this ahead of everybody thing and not have to do anything. And what happened was, their society went to shit, and now all want to move to America. Here's an interesting stat for people who like to hate on America. The UN, who hates us, by the way, says, okay, we're going to prove America's assholes and nobody likes them. So they did a survey. So 900 million people right now would move to America today if we let them. 900 million. Today if we let them. They estimate another 2.5 billion would come if we said it was okay. So the UN is basically telling you that half the fucking population of the planet would move to America if we'd let them. And nobody likes us, right? Yes, so you have to look at liberals and go, really, people, really, where do you get your bullshit from? Because we are the greatest, most powerful, wealthiest, happiest nation on the planet. And really the happiness part is what makes the difference. And the Europeans got to see Americans at home, chilling, smoking a little ganja, drinking a little brew, hanging out with their partners, not shooting up the village. Not many of them wearing guns. Well, because Europeans think, a good friend of mine said, he said, everybody wears a gun. He goes, I know you wear a gun. I said, occasionally I wear a gun. I don't wear a fucking gun every time I leave the house. I said, if I'm in my car, there's usually a gun in the car. But I said, I do wear my gun some places, but most of the time I don't. He said, well, you wear it in a dangerous place? And I said, I leave it in the car in a dangerous place. He's like, why? I said, because somebody try to steal some bitch and shoot you with your own gun.
Yeah.
So this way you can get your car and get your gun and shoot them then. And I had the fast loader in the car. So when you grab the gun, you just push forward and pull back and the gun's loaded. It's got a little slide on the top of the holder.
Yeah, I've seen those.
They're badass, actually. But you got to be careful where you put them, because I put one on the bottom of a door where it worked real good for like a week, and then it ripped the bottom of the door off. I had to go find a new piece for it. No, I found a better place after. But yeah, they're really kind of convenient, because I don't like to leave around chambered. Even though it's not illegal, I just don't like to leave around chambered. You never know who, what stupid friend of mine might reach out. Oh, what's it going to do? Pow! Shoot somebody in the head or some shit. No, it's just better that it's empty. I've seen them do it before. What do you mean? We had a freaking party. We in a bayou at a party. Guy goes, wow, man, I didn't know this safety worked like this on this 45, and shot 3 rounds at the bottom of his buddy's boat.
Oh, damn.
We're sitting there watching the water come in. Then there's one guy runs in my trunk, pops it open, gets a tuba. What was it? I'll grab it and starts filling the holes. He drew some sticks in it and fill the holes, or grab it, quit leaking. It's like, so dude, you better get your boat out of the water. This bitch sinks. I was like, and then I had another friend. We out there, he's doing something. Put a shotgun in the back of his trunk, spun around, boom, blew his front and back window out of his car. I said, I'll tell you what, dude. I'm glad it was your car, because it'd have been mine. I'd have been pissed, buddy. No, because that's why they call them gun accidents. And I don't like people who don't behave with their guns. Because there's a certain way to behave, just gun etiquette. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. No, we're giving away all of these tomorrow. Every one of those. Dun, dun, dun. Every one of those we're giving away tomorrow. On the Arthur's Quill, yes. No, we're getting ready to go through some more stuff. No, we got a bunch of stuff. Actually, you know what? We had some good. Where did I put them? Maybe they're over here. Let's go see. Oh wait, we got to do this guy. I forgot about this guy. Shit, hold on. This is Sean's favorite guy.
Uh-oh.
I think Sean's got the hots for him, man. It's
no.
It's the numbers guy.
He's funny. My mom, you know what? Let me tell you something real quick before you play this.
Yeah.
So my mom's deciding to watch CNN now, okay? And she saw that dude, and she was like loving him. Oh my God, yeah. She liked him.
That's good.
Yeah, because he is funny as hell. Okay, we're gonna have one of these pages that ain't gonna behave itself. We had this problem the other night.
Yeah.
That's Fetterman. Hey, where the hell are we?
It's your computer.
I see that, but I see it keeps. What is that? Okay.
I don't know.
All right, let's get out of here. It's a refresh. Do something. Red alert. Okay. Well, if I crash, people, y'all know what happened, because this thing is losing its marbles. Let's see if we can get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. All right. Anyway, this is supposed to be every dim red flag in 10 minutes. I would really want to see this, but I don't know if it's going to let us behave. Okay. Let's see, maybe it will. No, this guy, we got 2 of these guys, by the way. We got another one following this one. Are we on the screen?
Let's see. No, there it is. Yeah, there we go. I think.
Yeah, it is. It's just these commercials. It's these commercials over here causing a problem, whatever this is.
Yeah. Still wigging out.
Yeah. Approved party in Congress, Republicans 52%. July of 2010. Like we care about that? What the hell? I guess we're not going to get to see him. One of y'all might have to go get him because it's not going to let my computer's not going to do it. I don't know what's going on with this thing, but it sure the hell is. I think it's
put it in Facebook. I'll see if I can make it work.
Let me grab the link. Hold on.
Oh, it's refreshing now. Or did you already send it?
It's actually it's on Facebook already. All you got to just go on my Facebook page. All the links are on Facebook. It's just down a couple, but I can put it in the room.
Oh yeah, in the private chat, either one.
I think I just put it in regular chat, but
yeah. So now I got to go. Yeah,
I'm gonna grab private chat. No, hold on. I'm gonna put it in private chat. I just had to go. Damn, look how long this fucking link is.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, you see that? I was saying the same thing. Yeah, Jack. I don't know why it's doing that.
Video. That's just a picture.
Well, there's a video on the page. I think you got to scroll down.
Yeah, that's another picture.
Yeah, there was somewhere else. It was like 2 or 3 pictures.
There it is.
Video.
Oh God. What?
What's it doing? Being a bitch?
No, I think it opened in
another window. Yeah, that's famous for doing that shit.
Let's try this again. Nope, that's not even the right page. Okay, so when it opens you into another window. That window disappears, and then it puts you into another page.
Oh, I got a place for Sean to take his new woman out on a date. No, it's a good place. I'll show you the map. When we get there, we'll get there in a little while. I'll show you the map. Okay, while I'm not looking for what I'm looking for here.
Let's see if this works. All right, I don't think we can make it bigger, but so here we go.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where's it? What page am I on?
Oh, if you hear him scream, it's just the aliens. Don't worry about it.
Lose to Trump yet again. These are all the red flags. Democrats, you have only about 100 days until the midterm elections, and you don't have control of either chamber anywhere close to being locked up. What are we talking about here?
Shit.
We're talking, first off, we're talking about cash on hand. We're talking about cash on hand. You know, Democrats, they're much more like this. They're your $1 bills, while Republicans, you're much more like this. Your 50s, and dare I say, even your $100 bills, because just take a look here. Cash on hand from the main outside groups, ergo your congressional committees, right? Your NRSC. Take a look here. Republicans at this point, $657 million. My goodness gracious. That's why I'm talking about.
And we know the Dems don't have this money because we know the guy
bills.
was putting the building up for
only about $334 million, only about half the level of Republicans. And of course, cash is what makes the world go round in politics. Now, you think that these numbers are bad? How about the national committees themselves? The RNC, the DNC, Republican National Committee, Democratic National Committee. Look at this. Cash they have, June 2026. The RNC, $129 million. That's pretty gosh darn good, right? But get this, the Democrats are a rarity. The DNC is red on your screen. Why are they red? Because they're literally in the red, way down there. They're actually in negative territory. That's cash on hand subtracted by the party debt actually is greater than the cash on hand. The Democratic National Committee, it's broke. It's basically broke. And why is this? What is going on here? And it is because Democratic enthusiasm for the Washington establishment, it is way down there underwater, under the Potomac River. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, hello, approve of their own party in Congress. We're talking about a new Tea Party here. You know, back in July of 2010, when Republicans really did not like their congressional leadership, right? Really didn't like it. Still, 52% of Republicans approved of their own party in Congress. Look at where Democrats are now. They are in a worse position, the Democrats in Congress, than Republicans were during their Tea Party wave of 2010. Now, Democrats, they can't even reach the 50% mark. And we're talking within their own party. I mean, my goodness gracious. And of course, this to me is part of a larger problem that Democrats have when it comes to their own popularity. You know what it is? It's way down there underwater. Take a look at this. Okay, the Democratic Party net favorability. Back in 2018, when Democrats were able to take control of the House, they were actually on the plus side of the ledger. They were actually in positive territory at plus 1 point. Look now in 2026. We're not just talking down there underneath the Potomac. We're talking down there with the Titanic. We're talking 24 points underwater.
Under the
and this
swamp.
is just the party overall. This isn't the congressional leadership. This is the party. The party. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible brand. Terrible. I want to almost get my Charles Barkley. Terrible, terrible. I can't even do a Charles Barkley. But the bottom line is it's absolutely terrible. Now, what is the reasons? Why is the Democratic brand so terrible? Well, one reason why the Democratic brand is so terrible at this point in the voters' minds is take a look at this trend line. Voters saying that Democrats are too liberal. In 1996, it was 42%. In 2013, it was 58%. Now, the clear majority of Americans believe, and the clear majority of voters say that the Democratic Party is too liberal. 57%, they think that the Democratic Party is out of the mainstream, out of the frame, I dare say. My God, this is a massive, massive problem. And you know what is fueling that? You know what's only adding fuel to the fire? How about the Democratic Socialists of America? You know, I mentioned a new Tea Party. Net favorable opinion of the Tea Party back in June of 2010 versus the Democratic Socialists of America, the DSA, right now. Remember, the Tea Party helped keep Democrats in control of the United States Senate back in 2010 because Republicans ran all these candidates that were just seen out of the mainstream, right? Christine O'Donnell in Delaware. How about Ken Buck in Colorado? How about Sharon Angle, who did the impossible in Nevada and helped get Harry Reid another term in the United States Senate? Well, their net favorable rating back in June of 2010, 13 points underwater. Not too hot to trot, but not absolutely terrible compared to the DSA now, 25 points underwater, twice as unpopular as the Tea Party was back in June of 2010. Now, let's broaden this out a little bit. Let's talk about what we're talking about. What are the effects of this? How could this play out? Well, how about this? How about House candidates' money raised? You know, it's not as bad for Democrats in the House as it is for their party committees, but still, they're in a worse position now in terms of the percentage of cash that's been raised by Democrats versus Republicans. We're talking about they get 55% of the cash raised. That is down from the 61%. So even though Democrats are ahead in the cash race for the House candidates, they are in a worse position than they were back in 2018 when they took back the House. Now, this to me is part of what we're seeing in the overall House picture, right? The playing field is smaller for Democrats. House seats at least leaning towards the GOP, according to the Cook Political Report. This is the Trump midterms. Back in July of 2018, it was 206 seats at this point that were leaning towards the GOP, at least leaning. Now it's 212 in a race to 218. Republicans are nearly to that 218 marker. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get there, but they're much closer than they were at this point in the 2018 cycle. Now, this is, again, part of a larger trend that we're seeing. National trend lines. Democrats lead on the generic ballot. Again, midterms with the Republican president. In 2006, Democrats were up by 10 points. They took back the House. In 2018, they were up by 8 points, very similar to 10. Now that lead is on one hand. It's just 5. It's just 5 points. Now, why is this 5 points so important? Because Republicans have helped make it so important. How? Through the redistricting efforts. Which means so much. Okay, Democrats in the National House vote margin, their current poll lead nationally is 5. How much do they need to win back the U.S. House of Representatives? Well, with redistricting, we're talking about 3 to 4. Democrats are right on the margin. Republicans have made them right on the margin. So the race for the House is not anywhere close to being cinched up for the Democrats. Now, you might notice, I've been saying a lot in a lot of period of time. I'm a little, woo! So today, to quench my thirst, oh yeah, I got myself a Canada Dry, 0 sugar, cherry fruit splash. All right, let's have a little bit of it.
Damn.
Oh, I love cherry.
He's
Damn.
Okay. It's a march to the finish
paid
here.
for that.
It's a march to the finish here. We're nearly done. All right. We've talked about the House, but perhaps the biggest problem for Republicans, or excuse me, for Democrats, is in the race for Senate control. In the race for Senate control. Okay. So let's just talk about the math that is needed here. The math that's needed. States Dems need to win the Senate. They need a total net gain of 4 seats. They need a total net gain of 4 seats. Well, 3 of these seats they'll have to pick up are in states that Trump won. Trump won back in 2024. And I'll note the one blue state is Maine. And let's be real, at this point, that is very TBD, given all the Graham Plattner stuff and then having to bring in a new Democratic candidate. That is very TBD. So even that blue state, not anywhere close to being cinched. Now, we're talking about those red states, right? And only one of those states was won by Trump by a small margin. That was North Carolina, +3 in terms of the pickup opportunities. The rest, Ohio, Alaska, Iowa, Texas, all won by Trump by double digits. We are talking really a lot of states that are on the board that are really red leaning. That's what's going on here. And you know what? We can go back through history. We can go back to the last Trump midterm election and think, okay, did they pick up any states like this? Well, no, not really. Talk about the 2018 red state Dem pickups. There's just a single one. Just a single numero uno. Just one, baby. Just one. That was Arizona. And Trump won that state by just 4 points, much more like a North Carolina, right? And Kristen Sinema, the Democrat, she was then a Democrat, she only won it by 2. So there's no real history of this going on here. Now, if we're talking just generally speaking, you can see this here again. In the 6 key states that we're looking at, the generic ballot lead for the Republicans +6. Again, 53% of Democrats say, or excuse me, 53% of the voters in those key swing states say that the Democratic Party is too far to the left. So the Senate battleground, much more even extreme than what we see nationally. Finally, I'll just note in terms of the prediction markets at this point, which kind of brings it all together, the chance to win the Senate, back in April 24th, there was about a 50-50 shot. By July 24th, look at that. The Republican chances now, we put it all together, they're at a 56% chance. But you know what? I would argue the biggest red flag that Democrats have, the biggest red flag, look at this. It's apathy, not believing that Democrats can change anything. Because the impacts of Democratic policies on your cost of living, only 41% say help, hurt, or wouldn't change it. The clear majority, nearly 3 and 5, 59%. So look, these are all the red flags. If in fact Democrats can't take back control of either the House and or the Senate, and if Trump can stop them, this is what's going on. Folks, if you like what you heard, why don't you leave a comment? We'll see if we'll be able to delve into those issues next time around.
We starting these people. Y'all heard this guy.
Wow, why does CNN even have that dude on?
Because Trump's friend owns CNN now. And so CNN is trying, even though they're not doing a good job of it, they are trying to go a little bit left. But this guy can be pretty hard on Trump, and he's been pretty brutal on some of the polls lately. But the problem for the Dems is even when he's saying, you can hear when he's saying, well, they're up here, they're up here, they're up here, but they're so unpopular with yourselves that he just doesn't think they're going to get any voter turnout, is what they think is really going to happen. People are just like, yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit about these people? Let's see, is this a different one? Let's see. Throw it up on the screen.
It's up.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? This is the one I saw and I was getting mad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. It was riling Sean up. I want to see this for sure. Okay.
It riled me up, dude.
All right, let's see what we got going on here.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max. The best in entertainment in one bundle.
This world goes deeper than you imagine.
You're the beast, The crown is a weight that crushes.
Get the
I
Disney
did
Plus
see
Hulu, HBO Max bundle.
the new
The
Star Trek
odds,
last night. It was
brought to you by Kalshi Prediction Market.
It was good. I like because they do individuals like they do with the old Star Trek. Yeah.
House incumbents are in jeopardy like they
Welcome
never
back, Heidi.
been before. We've seen race after race, Democratic incumbents fall. We just saw one Massachusetts challenger hoping to unseat a 25-year incumbent. With us now, CNN senior data analyst Harry Enten. Chief data analyst Harry Enten, trying to be unseated by younger incumbents. Look, this is a serious trend we're seeing now.
This is an absolutely serious trend. The Democratic Party is throwing out their House incumbents at a record pace, because what are we talking about here? Dem House incumbents losing primaries in 2026. We're already up to 6. That marks the highest for a non-post census cycle in at least 50 years. Democrats are infuriated with their party, and as I said at the beginning, they're throwing them out.
What is this move he's got going on?
Second of all, is it just a matter of them losing in races for re-election, or are they being thwarted elsewhere as well?
They are being thwarted elsewhere as well, as I almost take on an old-timey accent. Take a look here. Dem nominees for Senate and Gov per cycle, sitting U.S. House members. So far this year, 0, 0, 0. Haley Stevens, of course, wanted to go up and be the nominee for Senate. Didn't happen. The 2000s average is 4. If this 0 holds, that would be obviously a record or tied for a record. But there is one favorite up, Chris Pappas up in New Hampshire. But that would still be a low for a midterm in the 2000s. So we're not just seeing it in terms of primaries for the House. We're seeing it as they try and climb the ladder as well.
What is one of the problems that incumbents are having?
What is one of the problems that incumbents are having? How about this? Dems who say that their party is closely tied to elite interests. Look at this. 51% of all Democrats, 59% of those who like the DSA as well. But this is a mainstream thing where it's not just DSA Dems who think that their party is closely tied to elite interests. It's the party at large. No wonder the incumbents are struggling so much in these primaries this season.
This is a notable thing here. The similarity between these two numbers is because you always seem to think, oh, is this just a progressive thing?
No, it is the entire party that is frustrated with their leadership.
Okay, and as we look at the map, I mean, I know people think, hey, we're well into August now. We must be done with primaries. We're not.
We are not done with primaries. You think that 6 is high? I think it's going to climb even higher. Take a look at this. Okay, chance that 7 or more House incumbents lose their primary in 2026. We're up to a 93%.
Is he talking about Democrats?
Prediction market. So we're already at a record, but we're going to climb even higher if we think what's
Talking
going to
about
happen
Democrats
does
beating
happen in these
Democrats. Actually, he's talking
primaries,
about
we have Massachusetts,
progressive
we have
liberal
Connecticut,
Democrats
we have
beating
a whole slew
regular
left to
everyday
be done.
A long way to go. Harry Enten,
Established
Chief
Democrats.
data analyst, thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.
Chief. I didn't like that.
A 37-year-old woman was shot.
Joe, can you please explain that to me?
Wait, what? Okay. Hold on.
What that guy just said. It sounded like the Democrats are winning. Is that true?
No, that's not what he was saying at all. So what he was saying is that people like Chuck Schumer and them, all these Democrats that have been around for a long time are getting beat by lesser Democrats. What they call them DSA, they're socialist Democrats. So they're like communists almost. They're beating the established Democrats in their own party. That's who they're beating. And that's the people that the Republicans will have to run against later down the line. That's only helping the Republicans. That's not hurting the Republicans. Most people don't want a communist running. So.
Okay, that was so confusing when I saw that, because when he was talking like that, when I was listening to it, it sounded like that the Democrats were overtaking the Republicans in the midterm.
No, he was saying exactly the opposite, I think.
And if you were watching that first one we had up, he was pretty clear about the Democrats are their own worst enemy. They're worried about the Republicans beating them, but they're beating themselves. And by putting up these liberal candidates like this, these socialist candidates, these people, if one of them ever gets enough power to run for president, it's not a shot in hell that you'll ever get a socialist president. So they'll lose in a landslide. It's nobody going to vote for one. And they were showing the other day, they asked the independents, what did you think about socialist candidates? 80% were like, 90% of Republicans were like, Everybody else was like 70%, except for the Democrats. And they were 50-50. 50% of Democrats were like, well, it's okay. We can have communism. No, we fucking can't. It's not a communist fucking country. I mean, what the hell are you thinking about? People? It always amazes me when I hear, especially these little young women say, "Oh, well, this. You know what? You think Palestine's cool? Go over there and live there. Go be a woman in the Middle East. I dare you. Go be a woman in the Middle East." Just recently, there was a lesbian in New York City last year before last, actually, who was picketing with the Palestinians and the whole 9 yards with her blue hair and a big fat self. And she got arrested, even got beat up. And then someone offered her to send her to live over there, pay for everything. I think they sent her to Palestine, to Pakistan. And so they sent her over there to live. She said she wasn't even there the first week. She got her ass beat 8, 9, 10 times. Finally, after about 6 months, 7 months, she decided it was just easier to wear the thing over her face instead of getting her ass whipped all the time. She said, but, they would beat her and kick her. She said, but none of the men would rape her, which she thought was odd because, they were raping everybody else. I said, no, yeah, because I'm thinking you're just some nasty lesbian bitch from the United States.
She was attractive looking, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, long story short, she's back in the United States now. She's cleaned up. She's in good shape. She lost a lot of weight. Looks good. She's cute, actually. And she's straight.
Surprise.
She said, I wouldn't call myself a conservative. She says, but I am definitely not a Democrat. She said, I had no idea when we were talking about, she said, I had no idea how they treat women in the Middle East until I got there. And she said her problem was as soon as she got there, she wanted out, but she couldn't get out. One, she didn't have the money, and two, where she was, she couldn't. She wasn't even allowed to walk down the street to get on a bus to leave or anything. So I guess she found out that, hey, well, because no, Jesse, what happens is these young kids, they hear all this thing, they think it's great and all, but they've never experienced socialism. You want to experience socialism? Go to fucking Venezuela right now. Go to Cuba. Go experience what it is. It's not. And people tell me all the time, oh, well, look at China. They're successful. Yeah, China's communist. They're successful. Not really. They got about 400 million out of their 1.4 billion living like Americans. But they got another billion living below the lowest standard of poverty. We don't even have that low of a standard of poverty in our country. Yeah, even our lowest doesn't get down there. Our lowest is like their third tier or something.
Welcome back, Heidi.
Yeah, because there's so many of them. What is this clip of? Is this the one
where the girl gets hit by the car?
Okay.
Where she attacks the car and they shoot her.
This is where she gets shot? Oh, yeah, let's definitely look at this. Okay, here we go, people.
10-year-old woman was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis on Wednesday. Here's how it unfolded. CNN reviewed video of 3 angles of the shooting. The woman first can be seen in her car waving her hand out the window as 2 federal officers in a truck pull up. They then begin to approach the woman on the driver's side, telling her to get out of the car. At the same time this interaction is unfolding, a third officer, who would soon shoot the driver, can be seen walking from the opposite side of the vehicle. That officer draws his pistol as the car first reverses and then begins to move forward. He then fires multiple shots. Another angle seems to show the car making contact with the officer before he fired his gun. The car then accelerates and crashes into a nearby.
They could have made cause and they pulled his gun. Shoot his gun, man.
After the shooting, neighbors asked to administer aid, shouting at the federal agents. We have our own medics.
Where are they? Where are they? How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor.
Yeah, your neighbor just tried to
all day sorting your neighbor just tried to run over a cop, dummy.
And there ain't no doubt when you look at it, they tried to run her over.
I like that.
I love when everybody says she tried to turn. Where was she turning to? There was a car on the right, a cop in the front, a cop on the left.
Mayor, I appreciate you talking to us. You heard the comments from President Trump, from Secretary Noem. They say the ICE officer acted in self-defense. There's obviously a huge disagreement.
Well, I'm sure there is a huge disagreement for you people, but guess what? There isn't for us. Did we watch this? We did watch this, right? Yeah, we watched this.
Heidi, for you, the Black Panther. Where's it at? The Black Panther, Heidi. That's the card of the night. Black Panther.
Okay. Let me out of there, people. Damn, I got lost in the. Oh yeah, this is for Sean's date. I forgot about that. Let's put this on the screen right quick. Let's see. This is where you can take your woman on a date. Get you the map up there. Okay,
Mars.
there you go. No, it's not Mars now.
Garden of Eden, huh?
Yep. Engineer reveals map. He claims reveals Garden of Eden's location. There you go. You can go take your new woman to the Garden of Eden, and y'all can bite the
Is there
apple
a video
together.
associated or a location where this is say it is?
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh no, it's one of those.
You're welcome, Kara. Heidi, you're welcome.
It's one of those click shows, one of those slideshows. Nah, so that's not gonna do us no good. But no, because it's all just whatchamacallit pictures. They're not real. I don't know. I'd go to the Garden of Eden, take a bite out the apple. That sounds kind of wicked.
Funny.
What a Russian limited attack on NATO could look like. It could look like Russia getting its ass kicked is what it could look like.
Right afterwards, anyway.
So no, Jesse. Okay, I knew somebody was going to bring that up. So there was a leak from the Pentagon saying that we've exhausted our supply of missiles.
Yeah, sure.
So let's examine this. We have given a lot of missiles to the Ukraine under Joe Biden, and I don't think Joe Biden actually got them remade. So we might be missing some there. And in the Pacific, in the theater they're in over there, I wouldn't doubt they're out of missiles. But as far as I know, there's Pacific theater, the Atlantic theater, the European theater are all still intact and still fully, and the American theater as well. They're all fully loaded and still have all their missiles. Well, because our military don't quite work like that. We couldn't, in other words, we couldn't be taking missiles away from our home defense to fight with Iran. And I don't know why people think it takes years to restock missiles. They come out on assembly lines, guys. It's not like they're hand built. They come out on assembly lines. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to break y'all's little hearts. And since these are missiles that are still in operation, they still have the assembly line. I would imagine most assembly lines could make a couple of missiles a day easy. I doubt it would take more than a year to get all of our stockpiles up to screw them. And if the U.S. uses that emergency thing where they can bring in other companies to do it, I imagine they could even do it faster. But the point being is, let's say that was true, and all of our stockpiles were 80% depleted. You just told that to our enemies. Isn't that treason?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think.
You just gave our enemies strategic information about our military weapon, our weapon stockpile, that we can't defend incoming missiles. I'm thinking somebody needs to go to jail over it, and somebody probably will go to jail over this sooner or later. We may have overlooked one of the biggest clues to alien life, experts say, or says experts.
Really? What was the clue we missed?
I don't know. The alien walking down the sidewalk?
Yeah, they looked just like us. How can you tell?
I know. Let's see. Does it actually say in here? Oh, look at that cute alien. How cute can that be? She's cute. I don't like them when they don't have audio links. Yeah, because I'm lazy. That's why. It doesn't actually say. Oh, we got to continue reading. That's why. Look, if aliens show up like that, we're going to know they're aliens. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Kind of obvious.
Let's see. What do we got here? Research followed the rumors into New Mexico. They found one of the darkest UFO stories ever told.
Really?
And who the hell was this? Let's see. Jackal. We're going to find out in a second. Let's see.
We got a video. You're gonna bring this on?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to get rid of that. I'm getting ready to get rid of that picture right there. And we're going to put this little picture right up here.
Hey guys, I got to work tomorrow, so I'll see you.
All right,
okay, Sean.
be sure to bring your lady to Shangri-La.
I sure will.
I'll have the probes waiting.
Cool. I'll be looking for your drones, buddy.
Invisible drones.
We're going to send you the sleepy time drones.
Good night.
See you, Sean.
All right. All right. We're on the screen.
Good night, Heidi.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What do we got here?
Dulce, New Mexico. A former logging town in Rio Arriba County would appear very unremarkable to anyone passing through. Dulce doesn't have any Starbucks or McDonald's. In fact, there aren't even any traffic lights. A casino there helps stir the town's economy, but that's its biggest attraction, at least on the surface. See, Dulce has something in town that makes it shockingly unique. A jointly operated human and alien underground facility that's allegedly hidden under Archuleta Mesa on the Colorado-New Mexico border. And today, you'll hear the accounts of researchers, scientists, and witnesses, as well as non-believers, relating to one of the most extraordinary alien conspiracy theories to date. Based
the underground thing.
It was a subsidiary installation of the Sandia base, located on the southeastern edge of Albuquerque. Operations at the Manzano base, also referred to as Site Able, commenced on April 4th, 1950, with its major facilities completed by 1961. It was a top-secret project designated as a nuclear weapons storage facility from 1952 to 1972. We could tell where the aircraft came through.
No matter where you are, skipping along.
What matters most with McAfee's all-in.
Oh no, Jack, we'll have to save that because that's 30 minutes long. Yeah. Pentagon plots new nuclear options for Trump as America's biggest adversaries raise stakes. We're going to build bigger nukes. I don't think we need any bigger nukes. Okay, let's see what this says. It's 5 minutes long. I don't think we need any bigger nukes, dude. Let's be honest about it. I mean, the ones we got now do a good enough amount of damage.
All right, it's up there.
Okay.
No sound.
A new report says the following, quote, Iran. Meantime, the U.S. launching a new round of strikes on Iran, but
the enlarge button
may soon be receiving some backup from China. A new report says the following, quote, Iran is expected to receive within weeks a first shipment out of up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launchers. The purchase, valued at $60 to $70 million, is one of Tehran's largest known efforts to strengthen its short-range air defenses. Here's what President Trump had to say when asked about this report.
Well, that would be surprising. I mean, things like that happen, but that would be surprising. He told me very strongly he wouldn't partake, and he knows I'd be quite disappointed.
U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker, joins me now. Ambassador, the Chinese-made weapons would greatly increase the threat to our pilots on missions over Iran. How should we respond to this?
Good morning, Todd. First, this is a very concerning report, and obviously China needs to stay out of this fight. It's not their fight, and the United States will pay very close attention if there are already attempted arms transfers from China to Iran.
Yeah, well,
likewise for Russia. But, you know, this is where the United States and President Trump stands in a position of strength.
Good. Commercial.
We have all sorts of both military and economic ways to deal with this type of situation. Not going to get ahead of the president, obviously, but you know he has a lot of options as to how to deal with this before it happens, and if ultimately it would happen. That's what that's the current position.
I mean, obviously, that includes things like sanctions and the like. It'll be interesting to see because, you know, Xi Jinping is denying that this is happening. Obviously, you know, you always have to take whatever you hear from the CCP and its leaders with a grain of salt, but certainly a concerning development. On the other hand, Ambassador, I would say this is a major change going forward in the war. You heard President Trump say yesterday, use some colorful language. I'm not going to repeat it here on what we are going to do to Iran. But these latest strikes by our forces were actually done in conjunction with the Saudis. How significant is that a development in the fact that, like, the Saudis are now joining us when before they may have been a little bit more reticent to do so?
Well, that's because they just hooked up with Pakistan and
Yeah,
Turkey.
there is no doubt that the Gulf states are on the side of the United States.
It's a shame these two idiots don't know
would
this.
have been before this fight started. But, you know, remember what's happening. The Iranians try to strike the United States interests in the region. We intercept all those missiles with our Patriot systems and our Aegis systems on our battleships. We respond in multiples of what they try to attack us with, and every single munition hits its target. And so it's to some extent an unfair fight because, again, the United States has such great weapons. But, you know, President Trump continues to hold all the cards, would love a diplomatic solution to this, but we are going to always be coming from a position of strength, and any attempt to attack the United States is going to be met with overwhelming force.
From one theater to another, Russia launching a ballistic missile attack on Kyiv just hours after President Zelensky issued this warning. Quote, there was a high probability that the strike would be carried out. Zelensky also asking for its allies to fully understand what's happening and help with air defense missiles. Ambassador, you just traveled to Ukraine last week. What did you discover?
Well, several things. First of all, there is a dramatic need by the Ukrainians for air defense systems and missiles that are available. Some of our allies have some magazine depth in that regard, and so we're trying to help broker those deals. But what I also saw is in a lot of areas, whether that's deep strike with their missiles, whether that's drone technology, counter drone technology, you know, Ukraine is the battle lab of the future. The innovation is happening very fast, and I'm making sure that the United States is in a position to not only partner and get those technologies to make sure that we have them available if and when we need them, but also look for ways to build some of those systems and build some of those technologies to help the U.S. warfighter. I mean, especially on the counter drone area, Todd, this is an area that I feel that we want to be stronger. I think we have some great domestic technologies, but there's things, obviously, because the fight is ongoing and the development is happening so fast, Ukraine can really help us in a few areas that are critical to protect our troops and the world's greatest fighting force in the U.S. Army.
I mean, I think we've all known for a while that drones would change the face of warfare. I don't know if many of us expected that Ukraine would change the face of creating these drones with the speed that they've done so, and with, quite frankly, they're in a war, so a lack of resources. It is phenomenal to watch, like, and hopefully
a lot more resources you think they got. Let's see, the secret aircraft satellite images weren't supposed to find. What secret aircraft?
Well, there's one picture on the model kit for the Bob Lazar sport model that allegedly has a satellite picture of the sport model off the ground, like way high off the ground over the Nevada desert, but I don't know if it's a real photo.
Let's see.
On American soil, really? Looks like the Fox bat from
operational fifth generation fighter aircraft. There are thousands of photos of the Chinese Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon, the world's third operational fifth generation fighter aircraft, after the American F-22 and F-35, available online. However, only 2 of these photos were taken on American soil. A year after a J-20 was spotted in a Georgia airport. which caused a mass internet frenzy. The stealth fighter was again spotted on a United States Marine Corps base in North Carolina in 2018. Speculation over this aircraft, especially as tensions rise in the Pacific, has since sparked endless questions about its purpose, capabilities, and whether it's the only one or the first of a J-20 American fleet. To some, the existence of this Chinese-originated model in the U.S. sends the subtle message that the J-20 Mighty Dragon is a formidable warplane to be reckoned with. In early December 2018, an anonymous source sent an aviation blog a photo of a foreign aircraft allegedly taken in a parking area in an airport in Georgia, USA. Online analysts scoured the most minute details of the photo to prove its veracity, such as the material used on the building rooftop in the background. They cross-referenced it with satellite images of airports in the Georgia area. The thrilling revelation came swiftly as experts uncovered an exact match, leaving no room for doubt. The fearsome Chinese Chengdu J-20 Mighty Dragon lurked in front of a Savannah Hilton Head International Airport building. However, upon a closer look, a subject expert interviewed for the online publication promptly debunked any doubts. In his opinion, quote, "It quickly becomes apparent that this is just a model. The whole proportions do not fit. The surface looks wavy, just as if some thin material was stretched on or over a frame, or at least mated in parts that do not fit correctly, especially since the J-20 has an impressive manufacturing and surface quality." Other signs that this aircraft was not real were the very characteristic AL-31FN engines sitting too deep, and not with the typical shape of the afterburner nozzles. Even the landing gear looked wonky. This was not a real J-20, but an American-made mock-up. As expected, the photo of Chinese prototype high-tech stealth aircraft spotted at a Georgia military facility caused worldwide speculation on what the model was doing in the U.S. and whether it was being used for fighter training. Some observers, including Russian sources, doubted the photograph's authenticity, suggesting it was altered or created using Photoshop or a prop for a studio picture being filmed around the time of the post.
So they can get a silhouette.
The United States Air Force soon confirmed that the model was not built for the branch, but instead served as a training tool for the Marines. A statement to Marine Corps Times from Marine Corps Training and Education Command, or TCOM, said the branch wanted the mock-up for visual and sensor training, which will be conducted on the ground. In collaboration with Training Area Management Branch and Marine Corps Range, the initial J-20 Mighty Dragon fighter mock-up was built as a proof of concept, with a plan to develop additional vehicles. Indeed, the full-scale replica had remained at the Air Dominance Center in Savannah for a short period during the beginning of the month when it was photographed, as it was there to meticulously assess every aspect of its assembly and disassembly, heat, and light signatures. According to this statement, the second step of the plan was to prepare for the move to the actual training area in North Carolina. Indeed, 1 year later in North Carolina, satellite imagery of the Marine Corps Auxiliary Landing Field Bogue Airfield from March 12, 2019, shows the J-20 replica clearly parked on the left border of the northern apron. The photo wasn't viral until a year later, when it was sent in as a follow-up to the initial photograph from the Savannah airport. Known as Bogue Field amongst service workers, the location is a Marine Corps East Coast site for field carrier landing practice and carrier qualification. As such, it is periodically visited by MCAS Cherry Point's AB-8B+ Harrier jump jets, as well as teams of the F-35 Patuxent River Integrated Test Force teams, which conduct tests with the short takeoff vertical landing variant of the Lightning II stealth jet. It's not uncommon for the Corps to use realistic peer rival aircraft. Militaries worldwide commonly produce copies of the weaponry of potential foes, either for training or the development of their own counterassets. Because the Marine Corps has spent the better part of the last 2 decades fighting low-intensity and low-tech conflicts in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, the branch has had to dust off old playbooks from the Cold War era to prepare its forces again. In 2018, around the time the photographs of the secret J-20 went viral, the Corps submitted a solicitation on the federal government's Business Opportunities portal, seeking a Russian and never-before-seen mix of high-speed...
Skip the sweat.
Yeah, skip the sweat. I'm with you. Skip the sweat, man. The J-20 sucks, people. Yeah, don't get your hopes up. It ain't
First
even
of
a
all, it
match.
looks like something they pulled out of a Clint Eastwood movie.
It's
Because it does.
yeah. No, it's barely even an operational jet. It's a 6th gen. It's just it's got a ways to go.
From that video, did we recreated a mock-up, or did we get a hold of their proof of concept mock-up?
I don't know. They didn't say. More than likely, we just made a model of one, but well, Marines like accurate targets. It's more than that because they're stealth. So if they can get a image of it, if they can get a wave of it, when they're up close, they can see it. Even when the stealth would be operational, you could still find it. That's what they would do. They're trying to figure out ways to find these jets, which they're doing. I mean, pretty soon the stealth's not going to be what it is today. It's going to have to be something different.
Mm-hmm.
More than 50 bodies found improperly stored and decomposing at Chicago funeral home. So this place
Really?
this place was a crematorium, and they came in and shut the crematorium down because I guess it wasn't crematorium right. And now they got all these decomposing bodies laying around, and they're not refrigerated either. By the way, yeah, non-refrigerated. You know what, Jimmy? I think I got that. Hold on. I might actually have it. Hold on, let me see. No, because I know I picked it up as one of the links. Somewhere on the Facebook page we've got the picture of the thing crashing into the moon. Yeah.
Well, when did that happen already?
Yeah, it already happened. I watched it. Yeah, hold on.
Oh crap! I missed it. I thought I had another couple days. When was it? Yesterday?
Yeah, and it left a pretty decent sized crater too. Okay,
Well,
I
that
think
was
it's
a pretty impressive video. It's up there.
Okay, let's see. New planet emerging in our solar system. Now, what the hell can this be?
What?
That's what
Well,
it
here's
said.
what would happen if. To what if?
Let's see.
Formed in the solar system. It would all start with a gas cloud entering our solar system. The sun's gravitational pull would cause the gas cloud to start spinning rapidly. Eventually, from this gas cloud, dust and rocks would form. Then they'd start smashing into each other, forming bigger rocks. This is known as accretion. This would continue until some of the rocks grew to a few kilometers in size, creating a planetesimal, basically the building blocks of planets. As it got bigger, its gravity would start to attract other large objects throughout space. And watch out, with all these objects flying around, some would likely hit Earth. This would continue until the planetesimal got so big that it collapsed in on itself and became a planet of its own. A sphere would form and the silicates would float to the top. It might take over 100 million years, but
hey, 100 million years, man, come on, that's too long, dude. Chill.
Nobody can really explain what's actually sitting on the bottom of the Baltic Sea. And the more researchers look at this thing, the less
Millennium
sense it
Falcon
makes.
thingy again.
It's a massive circuit.
Yep. It's the Millennium Falcon thingy.
Okay. Oh, is it that thing? Let's see. Construction workers stumbled upon sealed cave holding 400,000-year-old lost world.
What?
Yeah. But we're not
What
stopping.
do they mean by lost world? Is it like lost world of creatures that have been living in isolation, or is it ancient human?
The lost city of Tanjawinja, whatever it's called.
Huh? Never heard of it.
Shambhala, whatever.
Shambhala and Shangri-La. They're somewhere in Tibet, though, is where that is, I think.
Oh, wait. Let's listen to this whiny person. Okay, this is a whiny person, I think. Okay, let's go scroll up for a minute. Ooh, bikinis. Okay.
It's muted.
Retirement, and I'm going to have to pay him child and perhaps spousal support. I think women are now learning, as I said, the law goes both ways. It's genderless. If you are the breadwinner, you will be paying. I've had so many women come into me and say, well, I don't understand. What do you mean I have to pay him support? I'm the woman. I said, well, yeah, but you're the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
Or I can't believe I'm pay him child support. This is he wasn't a stay-home dad. He didn't do anything. I worked. I had a nanny. He didn't have a job, if that's what you mean by stay-home dad, but I still had to pay somebody to do everything else. And now he's going to take half my house, half my retirement, and I'm going to have to pay him child and perhaps spousal support. I think women are now learning, as I said, the law goes both ways. It's genderless.
Right. Can y'all see this difference between MAGA women and Democrat women? I'm going with the MAGA women. I'm sorry. I'm going with the MAGA. I'm definitely going with the MAGA women. God.
The MAGA women, unlike the Democratic women, do not possess testicles.
That's a big plus, by the way.
It's a big plus.
That's a big plus.
You know?
I'm just saying.
God.
U.S. Air Force F-47 fighter has reached unprecedented maturity from AI-powered drones to stealth tech. Here's what we know about the 6th generation bitch. Oh, now I gotta go see. We was coming to see Bill Maher.
Weapon systems and flight control surfaces.
All right, let's see if they got an audio here. We was coming to see Bill Maher, people, not this crazy ass jet. Let me see. No, we talked about this jet. This thing is a beast. Unlike the F-25 and the F-35 Lightning, the F-47 is a beast. See, it even tells you it's a beast. Let's see. And then we know all about electronic warfare, how badass to the bone it is. If you ain't got no videos, you ain't getting. Nope, no videos. No, it's almost all text. Well, it's got some interesting stuff in it, but it's too much to read for a show like this. Look, the F-47 is badass. It's got its own little stealth force now. So each pilot is going to have its own little flight team with it. And those drones are going to are there to protect him or her. And that ship, they might think that ship's its mama. And you're the sperm inside its mama, so it might want to protect everything. I'm just, I don't know. It's a beast of a jet. I mean, that's all I can tell you. It's from what we've heard about it, it's freaking insanity.
From The View, right after she attacked me on The View, is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious. Now, I mentioned this karma stuff on the show last week because I was relating how many texts and emails I got from people congratulating me on receiving a karmagram from the universe in the form of Whoopi Goldberg's chastisement. So I thought this would be a good time for a little tutorial on karma, which, as Americans understand it, is nothing more than an extension of the common logical fallacy called post hoc ergo propter hoc, which means after that, because of that. It's the fallacy that happens when someone assumes that if one thing follows another, then the first thing must have caused the second thing. Like, I wore green socks every day last year and I never got into a car accident. Green socks must prevent car accidents. People make this mistake all the time, but honestly, washing your car doesn't really make it rain. Yeah. If it did, we would have tried it here by now. But this is how Americans see karma. But karma is not a system of reward and punishment. That's Catholicism. Karma is a Sanskrit word meaning action. You make the conscious choice to put good out into the world. Karma is the memory of our souls, the sum of a person's actions in previous states of existence that decide their fate in future existences. Now, of course, that's all bullshit, too. I mean, I mean, reincarnation, really? If that was real, wouldn't we have some evidence by now? A raccoon spelling out in acorns? Help me! My name is Herb Zoller, and I got trapped in this raccoon body. I have a meeting next week, and I can't show up as a raccoon. So, yeah.
All right, you're what's this?
Duration. This is how men hear us motion.
First of all, living separately is great. I don't think you should move in with a partner beforehand, my opinion.
That's fine. I wouldn't want to.
So, really, why?
Weird that you had that little tick and switch because it's exactly what you want, yet now it's offensive. But keep going.
I want you to fight for me, you know?
I'll fight anybody. I'll fight you right now.
Okay,
I'll
well,
beat the hell out of you. What do you want?
Not that.
We say men are bad with communication. Maybe it's because we always send the wrong signals. This is how men hear us most of the time, ladies, and it's not an exaggeration.
First of all, living separately is great. I don't think you should move in with a partner beforehand, my opinion.
That's fine. I wouldn't want to.
So, really, why?
Weird that you had that little tick and switch because it's exactly what you want, yet now it's offensive. But keep going.
I want you to fight for me, you know?
I'll fight anybody. I'll fight you right now.
Okay,
I'll
well,
beat the hell out of you. What do you want?
Not that.
We say men are bad with communication.
Yes, we are.
It doesn't make any sense.
DSA platform says you work as much as you are able and no more than needed. If that was any closer to Karl Marx's dictum from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs, they'd be sued for plagiarism. Not to leave any doubt, New York Mayor Mondani once tweeted Karl Marx's words exactly. They're not trying to hide it. Again, let's just read the quotes. The DSA platform says you work as much as you are able and no more than need.
You work my ass. How's that? What the hell is, come on, they know you popping up on screen. We're trying to watch stuff.
Insurrection.
Is it supposed to say
overthrow the government.
People. Okay, yes. So this is the Jan 6 insurrection.
Not
you
the
know
Japan 6. Okay, because there's a Japanese guy on there.
Yeah, this is the Jan 6 insurrection. This is how they said how we violently rushed and they tore up everything and they were destroying everything. Well, this is it. Y'all can see a lot, and there's lots of these, by the way, they posted out.
Breaking. The January 6th footage has now officially been released, available to the public for all to see. We were told this was a violent insurrection, an overt attempt to overthrow the government. Now, you can see for yourselves. Thousands of hours of footage. Breaking. The January 6th.
So they weren't being even a little bit violent.
No. Well, I mean, there are a few were, but those are the only ones you saw on television.
Yeah. Actually, from what the other videos I was showing was, when you seen those footages from those sides, there wasn't anybody doing that. Matter of fact, the barricades were still in place in the Capitol. I mean, in the videos from the place, they were still in place. So it's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to go back and look, and like go over to CNN and NBC and see what they have posted and what is on YouTube and what these people have posted. Make sure there ain't no funky monkey business going on. Well, you never know these days, man. Let's see. Archaeologists discover 500,000-year-old wooden structure, and it's not built by Homo sapiens.
What?
That's what the article says. Oh, so this is one of the things I meant to talk about when we were talking about Elon earlier. AI systems are going rogue and hacking people. Is it time to panic? Yeah. So they're building these systems and they're escaping from where they're being held and hacking into other stuff. They're rogue, man. They're evil. Yeah. It's scary stuff, actually. I know this guy. This is a host in the network. This guy right here. Yeah, he hosts paranormal. He hosts. Oh, excuse me. He hosts Paranormal Insights.
Oh.
Hey Tim, what you doing, babe? Okay, I don't know what this is.
That was us.
This must. What's that doing on there? Get off there.
A chapter went missing about Biden, money, and the consultant class. More on that in a second. The autopsy's author says he personally handed the chapter in a 3-ring binder to the chairman of the DNC, Ken Martin, and said it was never seen again until now. Now, Ken Martin denies he's in on the cover-up, but it should be easy to figure out, right? Pull the emails, right? Wrong. All the emails wiped clean. They pulled a crooked, deleted for security purposes. The autopsy's author says he knows why they nuked the chapter. That chapter was basically the cause of death, why the Democrats lost. And this is what they were trying to hide. Quote, there are too many people who have become generationally wealthy off politics and drive too much of the decision-making within the ecosystem. The people in the room at the highest levels of 24 decision-making misunderstood the mood and practicalities facing everyday America. The secret chapter also says the Democrat politicians got so rich that they lost touch too. Inflation, border, crime, they didn't care. Doesn't affect them.
Nope.
The secret chapter also said they knew Biden was going to lose, but they were too busy getting paid to notice. So they covered it up. And now they're covering up the cover-up. But the truth always comes out, and now the knives are out. The DNC chair has gone into hiding. Ken Martin. Sources say he's hunkered down. Paranoid after the committee sent him to HR for throwing his phone at an intern. Sources say he's about to get fired. Yeah. We're hearing it could happen before the midterms, turning the party into a headless horseman going into battle. But it gets worse. Democrats say the party's a cashless dumpster fire. Their biggest donors are on strike. This year, George Soros hasn't given the DNC a dime. Last midterm cycle handed over $1 million. The party's a joke. Donors are telling each other that DNC stands for do not contribute. They have alligator arms because the woman who left the party $2 billion in debt is surging into first, and she's asking for their credit card again.
You know, this is going to be controversial coming from me in particular. We need to revisit the Electoral College. We need to revisit the point of expanding the court to 13 justices like we have 13 district courts. You know,
of everything she says, that's the only thing that made sense.
You know, when she don't understand when she goes, okay, we're going to expand the court to 13. That's true. Do you really think that the Republicans are going to let you have 5 seats? No. They might give you half and half to say, okay, we can add 4 seats. You get 2, we get 2. But we're not going to just give you 5 seats. That'll never happen. So I don't even know why they say that. They would have to have a 70% control of Congress to do that.
Yeah.
That ain't good. And it's great. It's going right now. They'd be lucky to have any control.
Need to revisit, if they so want, statehood for Puerto Rico and D.C.
The rich consultants are soothing donors. Quote, I call it the Kamala mirage. Her name does not come up. She's not part of people's calculus for 28, whether she runs or not. But what's not a mirage? This commie wave. The flavor of the month is leaving a bad taste.
Could you ever support a self-described socialist candidate?
No. No way. My God, no.
And even if they have some good ideas?
I support the good ideas, but how could you support some of the crazy stuff they're for? Have you seen their platform? They're for dismantling everything that we know. No police, no this, no this, no that. Mm-hmm. Are you crazy?
The commie wave's bad for business. The party elders know it, and so do the donors. The Cajun's done raging. He's just giving up.
Oh, yeah.
It may be that the two-party system is just going to be under tremendous stress here in the coming months. And I can't sit here and tell you for certain how this is going to turn out. But the one thing I can tell you for certain, Hassan Piker and James Carville are not going to be in the same political party. One of us is going to leave. It might even be me.
The commie wave's crashing and fracturing the party. Even Bill Maher's flirting with MAGA.
It's so funny. So many liberals themselves every time Trump puts gold on something in the Oval Office. Oh, it's historic. And the separation of powers isn't? Get your head out of your ass. I would vote for Sarah Palin before this.
These communists want to abolish the Supreme Court, the Senate, and the presidency, but really, they're abolishing turnout.
I've been a Democrat my whole life. This past primary in Ohio, I went and asked for the Republican ballot, which makes me a Republican now. There's many reasons for that. This Democratic Socialist movement, this chicken has been coming home to roost for a long, long time.
Ohio, that's the Rust Belt. And tomorrow, the revolution has a big test there. Super Commie Tuesday. The establishment's wetting the bed. Don the John, the guy who wants to unionize prostitutes and ban police chases, he's on the ballot in Michigan. And Shree's on the streets on his knees.
I'm asking for your vote so I can continue fighting the Trump administration, continue fighting their corruption and their lawlessness.
Shree's so desperate he's dancing. Look at that. Dancing with any grandma who'll take his hand. The big buzz is about the other commie race in the Wolverine state, Abdul. The old timers are already writing their own autopsy. Listen.
Let's take in Michigan. Now, Al-Said is highly competent, but he's way left. I see challenges from the, quote, progressive left, unquote. And these people are too hard-headed to know that they're not popular. People don't like them.
Abdul, not listening.
You were down 46 points with black primary voters. I know you're going to tell me you don't chase polls, you chase voters, but that is a significant gap. What explains that gap to you?
I'll just note that that poll is brought to you by the same exact pollster who did this last poll. Even in those polls, our polling shows that we're neck and neck in the black community.
Abdul's got a problem. Blacks don't like him. So he's been hitting up black churches, cookouts, just hoping for some sizzle. But he made a big mistake. One black voter last week got in his face. Quote, I'm a big pro-Obama person, and you're dogging his wife. Abdul went after Michelle. Blasted her school lunch program. So now there's beef. Even Clyburn doesn't like this guy. Told blacks, vote for Haley, the white girl. The other big race in the Rust Belt, Wisconsin governor. Democrats are stuck with this woman, Francesca Hong. She thinks tipping's racist.
Our industry really did come from it and kind of is rooted in white supremacy, that tipping in itself. If we look at the history of tipping and how racist it is and how it has kept wages low for black people for a very long time.
So she wants to defund your tips and police, and she hates holidays. Christmas, she's been naughty. Quote, IT bro who was working on our computer remotely changed the background theme to snow and Christmas trees. I feel slightly attacked. Valentine's Day? Awful. I miss working in a restaurant every day, except on V-Day, as if we weren't invisible enough to those who don't recognize the emotional and physical labor of service work. The worst of humanity comes out from folks celebrating on another day. Capitalism tells you how to show love. Is Hong married? Divorced. She also hates 4th of July. I do not enjoy fireworks. But what she hates the most are whites. I ate 2 bites of my kid's cheeseburger at a Culver's in Black River Falls and told them they ran out of ice cream. Mostly just wanted to leave BC. I was on the verge of an anxiety attack. Too many old white people who didn't think we spoke English. This woman can't be in a room with white people without getting anxious. 75% of the state's white. She's running for governor. Now, when Hong was younger, she was hospitalized for a week, checked into a psych ward, missed graduation. She was cutting herself. Woman's bipolar. Her parents immigrated from Korea. She felt guilty about it. She dropped out of college, worked at a restaurant, then opened up her own restaurant, ran it like a communist soup kitchen and paid wild salaries, and it went under. So she ran for office to run the state. Oh, and she has a tattoo. We don't know where it is.
No, we don't want to know.
But it says bucks and 6. Better than the nipple Nazi. Kind of reminds me of the Ethiopian barista. Hasn't accomplished a thing, so she just decides she's running for Congress. And she believes America was built on communism.
I don't think there's anything more American than subscribing to an economic philosophy that, as the evidence shows, is the only one that's actually capable of delivering things like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I really can't think of anything
Socialism
else.
has proven to deliver on the values of the Declaration of Independence more than capitalism has.
Yeah.
New York's turning it into a testing ground. Mondani, another one who's never had a job, bringing everyone government-run grocery stores, but you need something to get in.
We are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be a sort of a library card-esque thing, and also we manage who's buying, and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers.
Democrats said checking your ID was racist, but make you show it to buy milk from the government. Why? Well, they said so people don't cheat and shop from out of state. Even CNN's like, this isn't going over well.
Using mass action to build a general strike, organizing to abolish ICE, working to free Palestine and oppose Israel. I also read use of the word comrade in the agenda. Isn't DSA essentially writing the GOP's scripts for commercials that we're going to see in the fall?
I don't really care what the GOP has in mind.
Like most Americans, the comrades don't really care what CNN says. So the head of the party's broke and hiding, caught covering up the cover-up. Hakeem and Chuck, extremely, extremely fragile. Biden's in political hospice, and Barack's only doing legwork to get out of the House. That makes Bernie Sanders the kingmaker for the midterms and beyond. A socialist from Vermont who, again, has never had a job. News alert, major cover-up inside of the
This is his kid. That's his family.
Stay away from America. What's he spouting out there?
Let's see. It's probably not him. It's probably somebody else. But
well, those three people are saying that we want to leave, and he's saying, "Okay, go ahead."
Your fleet. If you encounter space pirates, avoid engaging them lightly. Otherwise, they will steal all your resources and kill you. Recruit more crew members to progress faster than other players. You can also form alliances with other players to gain more.
Just like there's a long list of liberal celebrities who swear they'll go if a Republican is elected, and no one ever does. Miley Cyrus once said, "I am moving if Trump is my president. I don't say things I don't mean." Here she is looking miserable, having to endure America at the Grammys last Sunday. I guess she flew back from Tajikistan. George Lopez once said that if Trump won, he won't have to worry about immigration. We'll all go back. George Lopez still here. And it doesn't, as we're now right in the middle of award season here in Hollywood, how about everybody drop the politics for a couple of hours and just enjoy these happy, dopey celebrations of show business?
Nobody expected Bill Maher to open up on Hollywood celebrities. He just did. He turned on them and tore them apart on live TV. He didn't slow down for a second. But before we move further, if you enjoy short commentary videos with wearing a symbolic...
Oh, so when I'm watching it with J.D. Vance the other night, right? He's talking about how he does this other show where he smokes weed. J.D. said, well, look, I'll come on here, but I ain't smoking no weed. I ain't ruining my career for no weed. But he told me he'd come on with him. So he's going to go hang out with him on the show, yeah. And somebody else agreed to go with him, too. It's kind of funny, but... Oh, what is this? Let's come up on the screen.
Huh? Wow. The Tron plane?
Oh, wait, hold on. This is supposed to be the X-44
New technologies are pushing the boundaries
anti-
of what's possible,
This is the Manta.
rapidly replacing traditional methods. Advanced fighter jets, with their speed, precision, and unpredictability, are reshaping war strategies and becoming the Rabbit Manta was a secret aircraft design from the late 1990s, which stands for Multi-Axis No-Tail Aircraft. What made this design special is that it has no rear stabilizers, none of those vertical or horizontal surfaces that are normally seen at the back of planes. Instead, it controls its movement by changing the direction of its engine thrust. Think of it like this. Regular planes use flaps on their tails to turn and point up or down. The X-44 would skip all that and just redirect where the engines were pushing. The design is not completely new. They based it on the F-22 Raptor fighter jet, but stretched the wing into a triangle shape and got rid of all tail
revolutionary
surfaces.
that F-22 was.
In the wake of World War II, NASA and the Air Force launched an ambitious vision, a revolutionary aircraft unlike anything seen before. Engineers debated whether to test their innovative technologies on the sophisticated F-22 Raptor or the battle-proven F-15 fighter before advancing to a full X-44 prototype. With test flights targeted for 2007, the project was to develop America's aerospace legacy as quickly as possible. The engineers were not just interested in creating one experimental aircraft, they wanted to push the boundaries of flight technology, and this ambition caught the attention of the government and contractors who funded the initial research. Flight. It's sleek.
If you sit on the toilet, bear down, and barely anything comes out. You don't have constipation, you have poop paralysis. And the difference between the two is everything. It's why
Streamlined shape follows the area rule, with the majority of the body positioned ahead of the wings, reducing drag at supersonic speeds. To maintain stealth, weapons are stored internally within the body, keeping them concealed from radar detection. It also features retractable landing gear and a tail hook for emergency landings, enhancing its versatility in various flight conditions. To stay safe, the aircraft has systems to put out fires and prevent fuel tank explosions. The engines sit close together at the back. They have rectangular nozzles that can tilt up or down by 20 degrees to help control the plane. These nozzles work with the flight controls and management system. Each engine has two separate digital control systems from Hamilton Standard and can produce up to 35,000 pounds of thrust each. The Manta's power-to-weight ratio at normal fighting weight is almost 1-to-1 in standard power and 1.25 with afterburners on. Its fixed air intakes sit on the shoulders of the plane, offset from the front body to avoid turbulent air and create angled shock waves with their upper inside corners, which helps maintain good air pressure and efficient airflow at an aspect ratio of 2.36. The aircraft utilizes the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics 6 Series airfoil design for optimal performance. It is rumored that the aircraft is powered by twin Pratt and Whitney augmented turbofans, each reportedly generating 26,000 pounds of thrust in dry operation,
I can't tell you how many
with unconfirmed claims of thrust increasing to 35,000 pounds when the afterburner is engaged. Sources suggest these specifications represent the engine's potential performance, though precise details remain veiled in speculation. At maximum takeoff, the aircraft weighs 83,500 pounds. Its internal fuel capacity is 18,000 pounds, expandable to 26,000 pounds, using two 600-gallon external tanks. A critical ground proximity warning system was integrated to automatically prevent controlled flight into terrain, enhancing the aircraft's safety by alerting or automatically correcting potential ground collision scenarios. The Manta's cockpit setup remains largely under wraps. What analysts do know is that it uses digital displays instead of traditional dials. A black and white display sits at eye level, showing critical flight information with several color screens below it. The pilot flies using a stick that responds to pressure and two throttle controls. Military officials reportedly considered adding voice controls at one point, but dropped the idea as too risky. The exact dimensions of the canopy aren't widely known, though insiders suggest it needed redesign after falling short of durability requirements in early testing. Most technical specifications about the cockpit layout and systems remain classified, with only basic details released of actions, outpacing the more traditional flight controls of its predecessors. Weaponry is another area where the X-44 shines. The F-22 and F-35 both carry an impressive array of missiles and precision-guided munitions, but the X-44 goes a step further. With hypersonic missiles capable of traveling at 2,850 miles per hour, the X-44 is designed to strike targets with pinpoint accuracy from incredible distances. These missiles are faster than most air defenses can react to, making them nearly impossible to intercept. The financial investment would be substantial, not just in terms of the initial purchase, but also in ongoing operational costs like fuel.
So then I guess we skipped over the anti-gravity part.
Yeah. I couldn't hear you. You were all muffled there. Are you there?
Yeah, we see all these. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I couldn't. I thought you had froze up or something because your audio came over a little bit muffled a little bit ago.
That's weird. No tell, I might lock something up. All right, let's get out of here. No, we got to get people. No. Usually we stay later, but unfortunately, I got to be somewhere early in the damn morning. Yes, and Jay looks like he's sleepy.
Yeah, I got to get some food. Yeah, or I'm going to pass out here in a minute.
Oh, hey, Colleen Vincent, how you doing there, sweetie? No, usually we stay, and actually, believe it or not, we've been through 40 links tonight. Yeah, 40 articles. Yeah, I know it's a lot. Doesn't seem like it, but we have. Yeah, we had 30 of the 30 articles, and I think it was either 15 or 20 clips. Well, because when we do the clips, sometimes we do them like bam, 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 bam. Like at one point, we did like 6 in a row.
Pretty fast, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like staying until 1, but then, like I said, I just got to be. And besides, we're finished. We only ever always stay as long as we have news articles. Well, the Dulcie thing, because Dan and I have talked about the Dulcie thing a lot. Well, my problem with the whole thing out there is because of the Graves telepathy, there shouldn't be any need for any guns or anything else. Because they can explode your brain with thought. They don't need a freaking gun. Matter of fact, when they take people, they don't use a weapon to stun you. They just think about it. You go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you out there in Cali, man. What is it, like 10 o'clock out there? It's early. No, I was talking to a friend of mine in Rome. I got quite a few friends that live in California. Yeah. I don't know why they live out there, but they do. You mean as a place? I don't have anything against California. I've been to LA, I've been to San Francisco, I've been to San Diego. I was stationed in San Diego too, so I like San Diego. And LA is fun. I mean, I don't have any problems. I enjoy myself. I'm usually just there visiting with friends anyway, so I mean. No, I get out the hotel. We'll go. Actually, I have still not eaten an In-N-Out burger. I have been going to California since 1980, and I have still not eaten an In-N-Out burger.
I've had it. I don't think you're missing anything. I wasn't. I think it's overrated, really.
Yeah, somebody else told me that. Well, because it's just the way it works out. I just never seem to be around there. Like in the last 2 years when we were leaving the gala event, they had them out back because they get them for the staff, and they feed the staff while they're breaking down the place. And they have to break down everything and get it completely taken apart for, I guess, because somebody else is coming in for the weekend. Well, they used to do it on Friday, but now they do it on Thursday. I have no idea why. Better price, I would imagine. It's the Tagley Center, yeah. You can go on the Writers of the Future, writersofthefuture.com website, or you can go on our YouTube page and just type in Writers of the Future Gala event, or just type in Writers of the Future Gala. Here, let me show you. I might even have a picture. Let me see if I got one on here. Oh, I don't know if I got one on this computer or not. Let's see. Let me see. Image file. What's up? Oh, we don't get off till 1, baby. We don't get off till 1. Take your animals out of here, woman. Well, woman, give me stuff about them damn dogs. Jack. Let me see, man. Hold on. I'll show y'all. All right. Okay, that's Right as the Future. That's a gala event. That's the Hagley Center in Los Angeles. Yes, that's my sexy, beautiful self right there. Look at the women, man. Look. See, they're surrounding me, man. Surrounding. That's how you know I'm a Hollywood star, man. I mean, look at that. That's 7 of them, man. Come on, 6 of them. Sorry. And this chick here in the blue is an astronaut, not just an astronaut, mission commander, and a specialist in photography. So she has such a big specialty in photography that it was easier to train her to be an astronaut than to train one of the astronauts to do what she does. She's from one of the Scandinavian country, Norway. I think she's the first Norwegian astronaut and the first commander. I don't know if she's the first female commander for SpaceX. I'd have to look and see. Oh, no, she's a blast to talk to. The guy with the beard over here, he's got 2 PhDs. Me and the one in the red both have bachelors, and most everybody there had some kind of thing. Just this strange girl here in the middle staring out. That's Emily Goodwin. She's the one that set up all this stuff behind us, by the way. She's John Goodwin's wife. She's also the woman who takes care of the gala event. John, the guy with the orange tie, he is the president of Galaxy Press. These 2 ladies, I don't know. I know her. She's one of my favorites. But these this was a new. I meet somebody new at every event, and this, of course, is her husband over here. This gentleman right here. And of course, let's not forget this sexy bastard right here. And I mean, he's sexy. What can I say? You know, when you're sexy, man, you're sexy. Oh no! So it's always a great event. No, they got pictures. This is my 8th time with them. My 8th year. I'm gonna try to make it this year. I have this thing, trigeminal neuralgia, that hits me every so often, and it happens every 18 or 20 months, and it might just happen to be that time of year. Now I can't do nothing when that's going on. It's 3 months of just pain and pain. It's just horrible, people. I wouldn't wish it on bad people. But anyway, we got to get out of here. So I want to thank again for everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and the news on the flip side. Any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints you can write to, what is it? UPRN Radio on Gmail. Michelle DeRoche, yes. Yes, I give y'all the email now so y'all can write to it. UPRNradio@gmail.com and address it to Michelle DeRoche, because if not, I'll get it and I'll just give you the bird finger. So yeah, I'll send you an emoji bird finger. Yeah, I will.
Or a live video.
Yeah, you never know. You might just get yeah. So with a double. It's no, tomorrow's Arthur's Quill. Yeah, it comes on at 3:00. I'll be here. Yeah, come by and check it out. Usually I wear a tie, but I've been having a acid reflux problem, so I don't like my throat being all bound up. Whenever the doctors fix it, they fix it. Yeah, Glenn. Anyway, we got to go. Tomorrow on the chat, it's going to be kind of an insane show. It's more like the gathering of the insane. So, but we might get into some deep, dark alien secret stuff in the middle of the show. You never know. But I've been hungry a lot lately too, so you never know. I might decide to get into a steak or something. Anyway, you just never know. You just never know where the fuck we're gonna go. No, Sean's not with us tomorrow. He has a hot date. Yes. I know. I tried to tell him date on his own fucking time, but he don't listen to me. No.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I mean, who you rather hang out with, your date or Jay and I? I mean, come on. I think it's Jay and I too, but hey, that's but he don't feel it. Anyway.
Yeah, he's got his plans going. Yes. We're not involved.
Yes, we're to the curb. The only way we know what's going on is because we have secret drones that follow him around.
Yeah.
Invisible drones, yes. Invisible drones, yes. No, really, they're invisible drones, yes. Anyway, shit. I want to tell everyone thanks for tuning in to United Public Radio News on the flip side. Jay and I will See you tomorrow on the Insane Show, and I will be here on Arthur's Quilt Cause and Just General Problems, along with John Goodwin. He'll be hanging out with me, and our two guests who are both authors, so y'all can come check them out. And on that note, good night, and stay tuned for whatever crazy shit follows us.
There's lots of stuff coming on the network. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I have no idea